minimum safe distance.
Talk brunch, served hot.
Talk brunch live. Ric Destin here. Destin Frazier.
So I love how there's people out there that are like, hey, Kanye's gonna run for president. That means we can get Trump out. Y'all realize that gives us a Kardashian in the White House, right?
Well, I've seen worse.
I'm just saying, you want the Oval Office smelling like Ray J? Come on now, people.
Well, you gotta ask yourself, was Kanye West ever president on The Simpsons?
That's a good question.
That should be our quality check right there.
Right? Did it happen on The Simpsons?
If it happened on The Simpsons, then I'll take it.
Should I write that one down? Did it happen on The Simpsons?
Oh God, write it down.
Yep, fuck it.
So tonight we're going to be talking about, of course, the world in wrestling, but there's a lot of things that have been going on in regards to updates to people's health, people allegedly, apparently retiring, indie wrestlers and free agents going to other feds, tough decisions being made, angry people, as always. Let's not forget about that. And even an update on that really crappy WWE game. What was that thing called again?
WWE, I don't know, bowel movement, something? I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah.
2K.
I don't know. I heard it through the grapevine. Are you getting that?
No.
What's up, Clyde? He says Alistair Block is on here. Is he different from Alistair Black? Like, is that the Minecraft version of Alistair Black?
Oh my God, wouldn't that be great?
No.
And thank you for the host, Say a Man.
Yeah, thank you for the host. I don't have our notifications on yet. I now do. Just because we just got here. Incredible. So, we already started talking about that. So let's go straight into that. The WWE Battlegrounds. That's what it was. WWE
Oh, that's what it's called. Okay.
Is coming out, I believe, this fall of 2020. So you're going to get your wrestling fix with this game. And for anyone that wasn't there for that episode, let me see if I can refresh your memory. Don't laugh.
Oh, God.
I got to refresh my memory on this one, too. Let's see.
We got to experience it all over again, right?
Yeah, fucking Battlegrounds. Bear with me. I got it somewhere here. It's an older one because this is our first time running it here. There we go. Okay.
Enjoy. Oh, it's not easier the second time.
It isn't.
God.
I forgot a lot of that. For some reason, all I remember was an alligator.
Yes, that's the only thing I would need to remember. And freaking like Ultra Instinct Charlotte.
Oh man. All right.
Oh. Why are they built like characters on Kids Next Door? I don't understand.
I don't know what's going on there.
Oh.
They should make that game that you were promoting a while back. They should make a Gang Beats version of WWE.
You know, I mean, one of the levels in that game is a wrestling ring, so...
Yeah. This week on NXT, the girls were wrestling like they were Gang Beats models, right? Everybody seemed to be flopping about. They would just fit that style.
I'm telling you, I watched it back today. All they were missing was the sound effects.
What's up, Ashley? We're doing good. How are you doing over there?
We're making it.
Glad you made it to the main show. The bread and butter, if you will.
Sugar.
Notice we did butter and sugar with A's.
Butter and sugar. Oh, God.
All right, so we have, I don't know what they're doing. They're teasing new stuff for this game, apparently, is what's happening here. I haven't looked at the new stuff personally, so I don't know what it is.
Oh, God.
I guess they're just showing us more of the game. What is this? Oh, this is Becky Lynch. That's how Becky Lynch is going to look. Wait. Oh, it's just the little 5-second clips. Get ready to take on the man.
This, I don't know how to feel right now.
What is it for? What platform is this for again?
I think it's supposed to be for the main ones: Xbox, PS4,
Switch.
This
DS,
looks like something that should be exclusive to the Switch.
DS also, right? N64.
And there you go. Engage.
GameCube. Like,
this was fit right here on the GameCube.
Dreamcast. How low do I have to go before I feel like it won't be able to run it? I'm trying here. Dreamcast, PlayStation 1.
The Virtual Boy.
Good God, I'd have to like go. Why? Listen, I'm not a graphics snob. You guys know that. Anyone who watches my streams knows that. But let's be real here. Even if they're going for a simplistic, cartoony look, does it have to be this ugly? Like, let's be real. That's ugliness. That's not trying to be charming. Scott Pilgrim was trying to be charming. This shit is ugly.
I don't know if you've seen footage of the game. It's a free game, Brawlhalla. The stuff on Brawlhalla looks better than this.
That's hand drawn too, right? Those are sprites and pixels and shit.
Yeah, and they have WWE Superstars on Brawlhalla. Brawlhalla Becky Lynch looks better than Battlegrounds Becky Lynch. Why is that a thing?
From the thumbnails, I thought that they just put toys to the camera, which wouldn't even be bad if they moved like it. It probably still won't be on Switch, right?
Man, that would be disappointing if this isn't on the Switch. That tells you something right there, boys and girls.
Look, I think we got a Big Show screenshot here. Is that what this is?
Oh no, I'm scared of what he looks like.
He looks like himself. Is this really it? That can't really be him, right? How come he looks just like he looks proper? Is everyone else going to look weird and he's going to look normal? That'll make him huge. Look at that Big Show. Isn't he normal looking, or am I crazy?
He looks unusually normal. He looks like if somebody just shrunk down.
Like they didn't try to do anything with him. They're like, let's just put him in the way he is.
Right. The beard looks accurate. Like
he's not small or nothing. All right. What else?
Said, fuck it, lower the graphics engine on him and we'll.
Yeah, right. Just add some color to him. Turn up the saturation.
Right. Make him shiny.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, the Fiend one looks good. The Fiend one looks pretty good.
I don't mind that.
Yeah. But still, though, like, alligators? That's what we doing now? Oh. Okay, now it's getting weird. All right.
What is it? The Undertaker doing the big bullet?
Yeah, with the hat still on. Like,
with the hat. Well,
that's the part that
think
bothers
about
me.
that.
The hat's just perfectly sitting on.
Will the hat still be on his head for the whole gameplay?
It better fucking not be. Like, if it is, oh.
Is it one of those kind of games?
Jesus Christ.
All right.
It's gonna be like an old freaking SmackDown Shut Your Mouth when he played as NWO Shawn Michaels and he just wore the NWO costume the whole time. Oh,
Some people definitely work out better
where's
than
his
this,
neck?
man.
We're cooking up something. It better be a neck. That's all I know. Because
They're just trying to have a good time out here.
oh my god, I mean, but there's a line like
Hustle, loyalty, respect. That's pretty much what I thought a scene in this game would look like. They showed him in the main trailer anyway, right?
yeah. George said the game was a gigantic GIF. That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm just not, you know what it is? I'm just not in the mood for shit to look silly nowadays. You know what? We go through that in our culture. You get like different eras of like things. Like you had your disco era, your 80s and your 90s and your 70s, like the way the tone of things are.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like in the society that we're in today, you know what I mean? I don't feel like the COVID generation wants bouncy, bubbly, happy, cartoony ice cream characters.
Right.
You know? I'm not in the mood for some happy shit like this.
I don't want this.
I don't want WWE brought to you by Nickelodeon.
This might be Nick Jr. Let's be real. Like,
What the hell's this one? Look at this.
oh yeah, Stacey Celebrity Deathmatch.
That's what it looks like. It is Celebrity Deathmatch.
What
Look
the
at
fuck
this.
is that?
What is this shit?
I don't. What? Is there somebody who dresses up like a masked goat? I don't understand. Like,
Is there a hint here of who they're going to unveil? Is that what it is? Or do you get masked goats?
You know what the bad part about it is, and I'm almost ashamed that I might guess this right. Kind of like the crocodile is like a guess an environmental thing in that one level. I guess maybe the goat's supposed to be one or something like that.
No. Who would care, though, you know?
I mean, they have an alligator. We watched John Cena get thrown into an alligator's mouth. Like, at this point, nothing's off limits.
I, for one, am not excited for this.
Not in the least.
Oh, boy. Okay, let's end that segment. End.
Be gone!
We need a button that's just end, right?
Anyway. We gotta start snapping segments like this.
So Renee Young last week announced that she had a big announcement, and people were speculating that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And here's the big. I don't want to spoil it. Do you know what it is already?
I heard what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited? But don't ruin it. Are you excited?
I mean, I'm excited for her. So.
Okay. All right.
Walker face.
Classy answer. Classy answer. Let me see what this. Let's just have a look here.
All right, guys. Today is finally the day. It is July 1st. I have been teasing online that I have a big, fat, fancy announcement to make. And what July 1st was for me was the date that I had to hand in my manuscript because I wrote a cookbook. I did it. I've been manifesting this for literally years. I've been talking about this for years. I've been eating for a very long time, but I did it. I'm super, super proud of it. I've obviously never written a book before, so hopefully it's not terrible, but I feel great about it. There's going to be over 70 recipes. We've got breakfast, snacks, cocktails, mains, sandwiches, kind of everything you could think of. It's all in here. And the fun thing with this cookbook too is that there's a playlist that comes with it. So you guys know that I'm a huge music junkie, and I would like to give you guys a little bit of that, kind of set the mood for when you're having people over to the house and wining and dining and maybe having a romantic dinner. I don't know. I'm just here to provide the goods. So I've been working with McGregor and Ledecky Literary Agency and Post Hill Press. These are the brave people that have taken a chance on me to help me write this cookbook. So that's pretty much all of the information that I have for you guys right now. I mean, once more information comes about of when it's going to be released, even the name of it, I'm honestly sort of still tossing stuff up in the air. I'm leaning towards Holy Bleep. That's good. But we'll see if that makes the cut or not. But yeah, it's going to be great. And you guys can find great meals like this fettuccine Alfredo. I'm just kidding. This isn't in the cookbook.
Oh,
I
good.
ordered it in.
I
I'm
was
not allowed
thinking,
to leave the house.
yeah, she scared me. Legit, when I saw it, I was like, that
Cookbook,
didn't
guys.
look, that was bad. I was like, nope. Glad she didn't sell that shit for too long. When I saw it, I was like, you could not have made that in the cookbook. Didn't look too good.
Right.
Don't order out, Renee. What are you doing to yourself?
Come on now, stop it.
What's up? What's up, Marceline?
Marceline.
Bringing love to our very dead YouTube. That's the most unpopular place where we are, but YouTube. But
Right.
today you brought a little love to the desert, known as YouTube.
She put a drop of water in the desert. Look at you. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for her. I think I heard she's been working on it for like 3 months, so it's like that's pretty cool.
Everyone had these crazy speculations, and I'm glad if people are pissed off.
That it wasn't just like, oh, she's not pregnant. And you're like, well,
she's going to AEW because she got sick there. So they
don't assume stupid. Like,
I'm glad for people because when things like that happen, the first thing that happens is everyone gets salty. Like now they feel entitled. That was it.
Like, yeah, sorry that her getting a cookbook doesn't fit into your conspiracy theories. Jesus Christ! Like, funny thing is, I didn't even try to assume anything. I was just like, okay, so whatever it is, that's exciting for her. So, like, it kind of takes the fun out of it in certain cases when you assume what it probably is.
Yeah, I wasn't too. I didn't think it'd be anything that crazy.
Nah, it's for nice. She gets excited about a lot of stuff. So,
yeah, good for her.
Oh yeah, excited. But she's actually not the only person who had some big news.
Oh, who was that? Where are we segueing?
Our old friend Sarah Rowe.
Oh yeah, let's have a look here at what that news is.
I'll pop that link in the chat room as well.
Are you done this with what? Yeah. Not with someone though. It's always scared of what it might say. I'm hopeful of what it might say. What am I gonna do? I've been pregnant before.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, Sarah's go be a mama. Another one beat Rousey to the punch. I couldn't resist. I had to.
You're lucky I keep a giant program in front of me when we start because I didn't expect you to segue into that story, man.
Like, you know what the funny thing is? Literally, I had in my head, if you were going to tell me pick a story in that order, that was exactly what I was going to go. I was going to go Renee Young cookbook and then Sarah Rose pregnant.
I had that on like my filler sheet. Like if I want to refill my coffee or something, I was just like, I had that on my little just in case. I was just like, oh, you're lucky I grabbed everything. I was like, I had no idea where you were going. But yeah, Sarah Logan, pregnant.
Yeah, it's excited for her.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a nice little thing. I like that they're always in that Viking gimmick, right? Even that shit, even for the pregnancy, it was like a Viking pregnancy test.
Yeah, that's came from little cheap plug. It came from their YouTube channel, The Wild and Free TV. That channel is fun.
Yeah,
Those two are cool outside of the ring.
Yeah, which are bot automatically linked up on social media, so you should see it on our at Talk Brunch.
Well, I mean, all I'm saying, Marcelina, is Ronda left to go get pregnant, and two girls don't beat her to the punch. All right, like there's a point when it's like, what you doing, bro?
Yeah, that is an unfortunate point to get to. All right, where are we going from this? I don't really know if I'm calling this so much a report as it is an investigation. We're going to have to try to figure this one out, in my opinion, more so than report anything. But what is going on with freaking Kyrie Sane? Do we know for sure? Or are we not sure what's going on here?
I mean, I don't even know
multiple reports. At first, we're hearing that there was some obscurity involving her contract. We don't know if she was still on contract or if her contract was coming up. But they apparently wanted her to go back to Japan this past May, and she was going to become like an ambassador of WWE for Japan. And we weren't sure if that meant that she was going to have an in-ring career ending, or if it was going to be just the ambassador role, or what was going to happen in regards to that. But I don't know. We were hearing just different things, and then we heard that apparently what changed their plans to some extent was that Nia Jax injured her when she was throwing her into the ring steps, and that actually wasn't the way that they intended to write her off of television. But her exit was supposed to be, from what I've heard, ironically, they've been trying to come up with an injury storyline, I guess, where she gets taken out to set up Asuka with a challenger for SummerSlam. I guess whoever was going to take her out was going to lead into that storyline. But she kept getting shoot injured so often that I guess they never had a chance to do this storyline. And yeah, she's married, apparently. I'm not sure to who. I know you guys were asking that in the chat room. But she was supposed to be returning to Japan to be with her husband. And they've known about this for a while. But she did have that shoot injury. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on. But they were gonna have a worked injury where she gets taken out since she was gonna leave. Ironically, maybe the plan would have been for Nia to actually destroy her, and then this be a vengeance storyline since she'd be gone anyway.
Wouldn't that be ironic if that really was the case?
But what we're hearing was then they don't know who it was that it was supposed to be, but they have confirmed that it wasn't going to be Nia, which means that I guess after the Nia feud, they were going to bring another big bad in, and that person was going to destroy her. So now we don't know who exactly that was going to be, which is, yeah, that's weird way to go with this entire thing. According to Wrestling Observer's newsletter, they were saying that she'd already been planning her retirement, and she was going to go back to Japan first and wrestle for a year, and then retire there. So a lot of people were saying that Nia ended her career and everything like that. Not really.
This Nia threw, I guess you could say, a wrench in it, because it didn't go as streamlined as she originally had planned out.
Right. And that's why a lot of people speculated that Asuka was going to be by herself today. I think that it would kind of suck. It would just be another cool thing gone, which I'm kind of getting annoyed with. I know they can't control a lot of it, but it feels like this is the company that just loses good stuff, like one thing after another, like dropping like flies, and they're not really introducing new things to replace it. Like when you really look at the old company from a few months before, pre pandemic situation, there's a lot of stuff missing. And not all of it is because of that, but you don't have Becky Lynch on here anymore. You don't have the Riot Squad, who were like the workhorses of that women's division for a while, even though they were never given credit for it. You don't even have Roman Reigns out here. A lot of the guys are gone or at home. Doesn't make
a lot
any
of
sense.
stuff isn't here anymore. It's weird.
So they keep losing things, and it just feels like that would be yet another loss, because the Asuka, Kairi Sane, Kabuki Warrior thing is one of the few entertaining things that they have going for them right now that's consistently good.
Yeah, they really don't have a bad night when it comes to those two.
What's up, Shane? Sorry to hear about your brother, man. Hope he feels better.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. When I'm just looking at it, like, that's really disappointing. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, put yourself in her shoes. Like, if you're literally not from here and you're married to somebody overseas, that's crazy to have that level of a long distance relationship. It's not like it's like this isn't a marriage.
It's other side of the planet. Like,
right. So knowing that, I understand, but at the same time, like, they're very short on resources right now. I don't know how much more they can take of people leaving, going home, or running away because of the circumstances. You know, like, after a while, the product just turns stale if it hasn't already.
if it's not stale, it's literally a half step away from it.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty stale. Let's be real. Unfortunately, they got rid of Paul Heyman and they got rid of Eric Bischoff and Bruce Pritchard. I hate to say it, but he's old, and I don't mean old like physically, like
it's when it comes to what he thinks works.
He is so old, man. He's more of an old man, almost, I feel like, than Vince. Think about it. Since Pritchard has taken over, all he's done is push people that are like past middle age. You've gotten more Bobby Lashley and MVP. You've gotten more Ric Flair and Randy Orton.
I mean, Shell, if we want to get into Raw, just sit there and know that in 2020 MVP has a championship match.
Like, this is the ruthless aggression era all over again. He pushes ruthless aggression guys, and everybody else jobs out to them. All of the guys that used to mean something that were getting elevated during the Heyman era that we just went through are gone. They're just side thoughts to push the storylines of these ruthless aggression 40-year-old dudes. Like, look at the fact that people who. It's so crazy to me to think that Ricochet, one of the most promising New Japan Pro Wrestling guys that they had, that he put on a match that went viral. Him and freaking
Ospreay.
When Will Ospreay, when they put on that match that went viral, that even people
the chain wrestling sequence by itself went viral.
And this guy is just like hanging out. He's like fucking Dick Grayson and Tim Drake over here with the other dude with Cedric. Even Cedric too, like another guy, good Ring of Honor guy. We saw him improve over years. It's like just a side attraction now. And I get that they're on Raw, but they're really just instruments of this bigger storyline that involves MVP and Bobby Lashley. Like, everyone is in these storylines that are more to push the freaking older talent. Take it easy, Ashley. Everyone's there to push older talent, and I gets on my nerves. Think about it. Did you ever think that you'd be watching wrestling in 2020 and you'd be seeing Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, MVP, Ric Flair, Randy Orton being a legend killer, Christian Edge?
Like, did that gimmick not die years ago? Like,
the product's fucking stale.
It's to the point where when something halfway funny happens, it gets the reaction like it's fantastic because we're used to the same stale. We've seen this 1,000 times with some more. I could call it spot for stuff we've been seeing for years. Like, the problem with Pritchard is it seems like he has such little faith in the new stuff that he basically does. If you ever use the term before, he defaults. Defaulting does not work.
Yeah, it doesn't at all.
All defaulting tells me is you literally don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, and that's not good. And it's like he knows what he's doing, but he's doing old stuff.
He knows what he's doing. What he's doing is defaulting.
You know, and I get it. A lot of the stuff that's happening is also because of the situation that we're in right now. Because we're hearing that, according to Ringside News, they were saying that WWE didn't have the scripts for Raw pretty much completed on time. And that after they got rid of Heyman, they combined both the Raw and SmackDown writing teams into one big writing team. And apparently Raw was a complete mess for a while. And assignments were given to the writers like only a couple of days before Raw was supposed to go on the air. And apparently they didn't have the script complete in time. And they didn't have Vince McMahon's approval for the script at first. Someone was quoted as saying that they've never seen the writing process and the writing team fall apart like this. And they said that this is a complete lack of anything having a handle on this or a vision.
Oh boy. It just gets worse every week.
And apparently they only, like, Vince came late, like 1 p.m. about 3 days ago, and he approved, like, the second draft of the show, which I'm amazed that it has a second draft. And the producers still didn't have full details on key segments at that point. So all of that stuff will have to be implemented in last minute. And the ringside saying the atmosphere is being described as leaderless. And they say that Paul Heyman's mantra was to collaborate with Vince McMahon and quote-unquote inspire him. But according to ringside, Bruce Pritchard's idea is different. And it's described as a Cheshire cat who is there to tell Vince McMahon jokes during creative meetings. Their word, not mine.
Oh my God.
And Vince apparently, after he approved this script, didn't even stick around for the entire taping. Like, he just left.
Yeah, I heard that. He literally
left
just
after
like
the second
peaced
tape. He
out.
just kind of left. He just went home. I don't know. No one knows where he went. Like, literally, Vince McMahon, a guy who's in gorilla position every single day since I was a kid, never missing one, in the middle of tapings, got up and left. No one knows where he went. They just kept going on without him. Apparently, one person is quoted as saying, "I wish I could have left early." Yeah, Vince McMahon, which I've never heard that before. That's a new one. If you're going to ask me what happened, I don't have a clue. But he showed up late, approved the second draft, and didn't stick around to watch.
That's amazing. Yo, he showed up late and left early. That's amazing.
Not for them, it isn't. Now you see how much you need people like that around, you know?
Well, I ain't too worried about them at the moment. So.
Well, someone needs to worry about them. So this is what I'm talking about right now. The product has become a bit stale. And there are a lot of problems happening.
Good Lord.
It's sad to see, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know about
it's sad
that.
to see to the extent of, like, we know it could be a lot better. But then I'm looking at it from the other side, and it's like, well, if you guys actually took the time and instead of just defaulting to the stuff that used to work, like with Paul Heyman, he was trying the guys like the Humberto Carrillos and Aleister Blacks and Ricochet because you want to see what happens.
Yeah, and
You have,
that's
to
the
you
problem.
have to take a risk sometimes.
And that's the problem. I digress. While we're dealing with this transition, they're even losing talent that they didn't give up on because the Kabuki Warrior thing was being pushed. Kairi Sane was being pushed, but Nia kind of fucked it up halfway, and then the fact that she wants to leave messed it up the other half of the way. Yeah. So that's pretty tragic. We've heard we reported on here before that Io Shirai, she's married to Watanabe, aka Evil, from New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know, from Los Ingobernables. We're hearing that she at some point is obviously going to want to go back home. Good Lord. That just leaves Asuka here, who you guys better hope she loves American culture. And to be quite honest with you, I don't see why the fuck she would.
Exactly.
You know?
I see more videos on her YouTube of her in Japan, so.
So, you might want to go where her friends are.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny when you mentioned the thing with Io, when we get into NXT, that's her friend. They used to team in Japan. What's to say Io leaving doesn't make her want to leave.
And we never got the stable I wanted because they've been tag teams, each of them individually. You know what I mean? Like Io Shirai and Kairi Sane were the Sky Pirates in NXT.
And then Asuka and Io teamed in Japan. We would have had two tag teams
and then Asuka
together right there.
Yeah, and then Asuka and Kairi Sane team in WWE is the Kabuki Warriors. So it'd be really cool to have all three of them like in a stable together. Kind of like what happened with the Undisputed Era. Where like all those guys were
with like 2 or 3 different tag teams all in the same group.
Yeah, you know, we missed that. We didn't get to do anything. We're not doing anything fun that we could be doing with the people that are here now. And then they're leaving.
Because we want to show Big Show in the main event in 2020.
Exactly. Another guy, Big Show. You see what I mean? At least, even though I didn't get to see as much Kairi Sane as I wanted, at least I didn't get to see as many of these young guys in this new exciting generation as I wanted. At least I got to see Big Show. And even R-Truth, as much as I like him, at least I got to see Big Show and R-Truth and Bobby Lashley and MVP and Ric Flair and Randy Orton. You see what I mean? Like, at least we got to see them because God knows we didn't get to see enough of them before.
It's kind of funny with me. Truth is the only one I don't have as much of a problem with, and I think it's only because he kind of moved with the times.
I'm not a nostalgic guy. If you're sometimes we'll
Yeah.
get nostalgic and we'll bring up old stuff just for laughs and stuff, but I'm not. If you're watching the show for nostalgia, you're watching the wrong show. I'm an older person, probably a lot of our listener demographic, and I don't feel like seeing these guys. I don't feel like seeing these older guys. I gave less of a fuck about The Undertaker's last ride than most people. I don't care. And it's not that I don't like The Undertaker and I didn't enjoy his matches, but I'm just not in the past. I'm in the present and the future. And I don't give too much of a shit about what the older guys are doing right now. And it's funny to me that a lot of younger guys that weren't even here for these generations care more than I do. I kind of feel like we lived it up. And it was great, but it's more diluted for me by the fact that I feel like the younger guys should be getting their push right now. As much as people praise the Attitude Era, during the Attitude Era, they weren't bringing in guys from the era before that as special attractions, nor were they having like big documentaries about how great the previous people were.
Nope.
Part of it was probably because the previous people became their competition in WCW, but either way, it was better that they weren't looking backwards. When you were watching the pay-per-views, you were watching them for the guys that were there on Monday and Friday, not because some guy who's not normally there is now going to be there for the pay-per-view. So it's just weird, you know. I'm not a nostalgic guy. I like to look at the current stuff and talk to you guys about the current stuff, and every now and then look back. Full disclosure, to pull the wool behind the curtain a little bit, I was just before we were getting started. Like, I was late, as usual. I'm always late doing this because I like to have certain things on the program, certain screenshots, images, videos, whatever, and I refuse. I want to make sure we have the best fucking content, whatever. I don't care if it's one person or 1,000. Like, I want to make sure that the program is tight. That's one thing that most people behind the curtain know about me. And I'm putting the program together, and I'm like kind of cursing, I'm mumbling against my breath. I'm like, I'm garbage. I fucking didn't get this shit ready. And the significant other is like, look, your show is very complicated and has like a lot of things. You're not just going on there and talking to people about shit that you watched when you were 10 years old. And
like some people out there.
It popped me. It's like, it's not really a jab at any specific shows. I don't think she meant, who knows, maybe she did, but I'm just saying, you know, there are shows where it's like literally just remember this, remember that. I don't want to be a remember this show. And the whole fucking business is becoming a remember this show. I don't want to remember shit.
Yeah, like I don't have a problem with nostalgia, but it becomes an issue when you insert nostalgia into it like it's present day.
Yeah. And it would be easy to just come on here and do that, to just be like, all right, today we're going to talk about, you know, I don't know, In Your House 1996. Remember that? Let's talk about it.
Hell
like,
no.
What, hell
Let's
no, I
talk
don't
about
want
it.
to. Who the fuck would want to do that? You know, it's not my content, but it's funny because I've never thought about that until today when she said that. When I was like, shit, I'm late again. I didn't finish the program. She was like, hon, you got to give yourself some slack. She said, that's a really big, elaborate show. You're not just going on there talking about shit you saw when you were 10. Like, those were
Talking about
exact
shit that
words.
happened in the past week. Like,
It was just like, yeah, you know, you have a good point. You know, like, I'm not.
like it's kind of funny because it's kind of funny you mentioned that because I pulling the wool back once again. Whenever we jump on the Skype call, the first thing I hear is sorry I'm late, and I'm sitting there going, don't fucking worry about it.
Yeah, like I'm literally just making sure I have everything. Like, but ironically, that thing that he just brought up before that I wasn't expecting with Sarah Logan, that was one of the last things I was getting when I was like already 5 minutes into being late. I was like, maybe I should grab this video and have this story. And look, he called it out. Otherwise, we would have had to wait for the link because I didn't have it. I just like to have all the stuff in front of me. You know, I just think that it works better that way.
Which, I mean, credit to us. That tells us we are on the same page when it comes to certain stuff.
Yeah. So
even so much as down to the order.
Yeah. So I don't like to milk. The point being, I digress. I don't like to milk all this stuff just to have airtime. But now the companies that we're talking about are doing it, as opposed to pushing this younger talent. It's just silly to me. It's really silly that they had all these chances. It reminds me a lot. You know who made this mistake?
WCW?
No. Well, yeah. I guess. Okay. You know who else made this mistake?
Oh, the TNA?
Yes. You know, exactly. This is exactly.
It was going to be one of the two.
It's all over again. You know what I mean? Every time, nothing's ever turns out okay. Whenever a company.
Oh, yeah. It's the 7-week Monday Night War.
Whenever a company has a bunch of young, exciting talent from the indies and they focus on the older guys from like 10, 15 years ago, nothing good has ever happened.
I remember there was a period of time for several years. I think it even still sometimes happens now, where when I saw a guy like a Rhino or a Raven or somebody show up that used to be in WWE, and I'm like, oh, only a matter of time before that guy's world champion.
Yeah.
Because that really used to be the thing.
What happened to all the excitement, right?
It's all gone. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, back then they still managed to make it exciting, but still.
Yeah, that
Well,
sucks,
like the early
man.
2000s, so.
Very early. Yeah, get ready for Hulk on Monday Night Raw 2020. Yeah, Hogan, right?
You don't understand how real that phrase
It's gonna
is.
happen though. It's gonna happen. Like it's like we're here. We're here in this era now. Bruce Pritchard, Brother Love is writing your shit. Matt Morgan will be there too. Why not? He'll be more current than who you have now.
Oh God, Shane brought up LOD 2000. No.
The carbon footprint.
And you know the bad part about it? They're not going to make a modern day Matt Morgan. They're going to give him stunnering Matt Morgan from back then too.
You know what I liked about Matt Morgan? I talked about this on here years ago, but I like the fact that even though he was a big giant, and if you guys look at my my photos, my personal photos, I have a picture where I'm like front row at an event, and I get a shot of him like he's at ringside. He gets thrown outside and he slides out. It looks like, if you look at the way he's looking at me shooting the camera, it almost looks like those fake images when you see people who caught Bigfoot looking at them. Like it's just scary, man. He's a big motherfucker. He is so
massive.
Like when I saw him big, it was like in front of me. It was just like, wow, this dude is like a superhero. But the funny thing is, and one of my favorite things about this guy is that even though he looks like that, whenever he shoots a promo, he sounds like every angry neighbor in a suburban neighborhood.
Doesn't he?
Well, I have never, like, I'll have you know, Kurt.
Oh my God.
Like he always sounds like he's telling somebody off suburban style. Like that. He does not sound mean at all. It literally, he sounds like the guy at the block association meeting.
You're waiting for him to call homeowners association on you.
It's funny, man. It's like it added to the character for me, especially when he was a heel. I like when big guys don't act big.
Remember that time when he stole Thunderlip's robe?
Yeah. Oh my
That
God.
shit's great. And he started coming out in the robe. Even when he stopped feuding with Hogan, he was still coming out in the Thunderlip's robe.
Oh my God.
Oh, good times.
But speaking of Impact Wrestling, they apparently, I don't know, they're opening their door to everybody. Does this surprise you though? Like at the end of the day, does this really surprise you?
That place has always been like, if you want to show up, show up. Like,
they just gobble up whatever talent they're everywhere. They're like the talent vacuum.
I've seen everybody from Kid Cash to the fucking Road Warriors, Randy Sat. I've seen everybody show up there.
You ever feed, like, you ever have like a pet, like a dog or a cat or something, and like when you feed it, it'll eat at a moderate rate and shit. But like, God forbid, one day you're in the kitchen and you knock some shit over and it's there, and that motherfucker is speed eating. Yeah, something wonderful happened. That's TNA. They're that pet that used to get the food the normal way, but one day the shit got knocked off the counter and they're overwhelmed. They're overstimulated right now because TNA, Impact, call them whatever the fuck you want. Those guys are they're hinting everybody's coming. According to Fightful, they were saying that they literally said they're calling as many people as they can. Like that's what they're just calling whoever they do. They're gonna get, yeah, you're right, George. They're gonna get Enzo, right? He's gonna come fucking shuffling down the thing. But we're hearing about EC3 is being hinted. Eric Young is being hinted. They're even hinting your buddies Gallows and Anderson, but those guys are being hinted like everywhere. Maria and Mike Kanellis are being hinted. Yeah, we need. You're right, King Quest. We need a fucking Impact higher theme at this point. Because we can't use the Castlevania stage clear anymore for them because like it's no longer an escape.
Down entry.
Yeah, you got all kinds of people who are hinted to be showing up back there again. EC3, he put up a video. Let me see what this is.
You can spend your whole life letting the world tell you.
Oh, this is AEW. Oh, he's going to AEW,
Dictate
really?
your path. Choose your fate.
Oh, yeah,
Do you decide your future? Or is it chosen for you? We are living in unprecedented times, from lockdowns to quarantine to turmoil in the streets. We are living an American nightmare. From coast to coast, Maine to SoCal, uncensored chaos and confusion reign supreme. You walk outside, it feels like you're in the jungle, boy. You fear the revolt is coming for you if you don't adhere to the groupthink. You feel like you're left out to hang, man. The natural state of things has fallen into this dark order, and you plug away day after day like a gear in an effing machine. Society is broken. But now is the time. You keep your inner circle small. You do not have best friends. You can only trust yourself. And it doesn't matter if you're an old man or a young buck. You speak your truth. You stand tall, exalted. You rise like a phoenix. You carry yourself with Moxley, and you seal it with a sunny kiss. Now these bastards, they criticize you. They may mock you. They may cancel you. Hell, they may even imitate you poorly. But you never give in. You never apologize. You put the word sorry back into that dictionary and you throw it in the librarian's face, because it is never the end. There is no omega when you're an alpha. You think for yourself. You fight for yourself. You control your narrative. And if you don't, you're just part of the con. You are more than elite. You are free. And they have been warned.
I mean, that's more than just a hint.
That man dropped almost every big name in the company.
That was way more than just a hint.
That dude dropped everybody from freaking the Librarian, the Brian Cage, to the Bucks, like that. That dude's showing up in AEW.
Wouldn't it be great if after that promo he did go to TNA? That would be a heel thing to do, man. I would do that shit.
I'd pop.
Can you imagine that? The heat. You'd feel the heat from your couch.
Good God.
Oh, that was something else. So there was an
I think wherever he goes, he's going to be great, though.
Yeah.
That dude's gold if you know what you're doing with him.
Yeah, it's an indie playground right now. You know, we got Brian Myers put one out too, aka Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah.
See what the hell this is. Well, that was lazy.
Come on, man. You gotta do better than that.
Yeah, we're like waiting for stuff. We're gonna be impressed here. You know, there's an indie era. I've seen
better show out, kid.
I've seen better toughen up videos.
That's fucked
I don't
up.
want shit on his video. I hope he does good. I mean, he's from Queens. I gotta support the guy, but come on, man.
Right.
A little bit more
Right.
editing in that shit. Leo Rush has one out. Let's see what Leo Rush did.
I've proven what could be done can be done. And if it couldn't be done by Leo Rush, then it simply just couldn't happen.
Today we begin with a feature on a local wrestler named Lionel Green. His heart has always been drawn to wrestling.
Well, I like to kick people a lot. So that's my go-to.
Standing on solid ground. They said that I've been running out of time. And I I'm afraid, but I'm not. Yeah. They hope to God that I'm afraid, but I'm not. Yeah. Divide and conquer hatred. Remind them all I run the places. I am your replacement. Yeah. Divide and conquer hatred. In all your spaces.
To be called Cruiserweight champion, I'm the greatest cruiserweight in the world right now. That's an amazing feeling.
They hope to God that I'm afraid, but I'm not. Yeah. They hope to God that I'm afraid, but I'm not.
video. Shane said it reminds him of Creed.
This isn't the end for the man of the...
All right, well, yeah.
Leo Rush in Last Dragon 2.
Yeah, it was definitely dramatic. He said, Sugar Shane said it reminds him of Creed. It reminds, or like Drumline or some shit like that. That style of thing. It's like, it feels like Nick Cannon could play him in the movie. Yeah, definitely one of those inspirational movies, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I like it, though. You know what? Honestly, man, Leo Rush, remember we used to like that guy before he was even on NXT? We used to talk about him in Ring of Honor, and there was never a problem until he went there. I hate to say it, but we always put him over. Talked about how good he was. I even said that he's like probably their best choice for Cruiserweight champ before he was even on that show. They just don't know how to. I don't know. It's not a good mix. They rather have Leon Ruff.
It just seems like when people go there, everything goes downhill.
You notice they're bigger pushers of Leon Ruff.
Right.
That guy's going places.
Straight to Wrestling Society X.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he was great in PWG.
Dude was the shit almost everywhere he was. Like, when I heard they signed him, I was like, oh, here we go. And the next thing you know, he draws out to Mitch Hedberg. And I was like, no, I mean, Mitch Bennett. There it is. Yeah, that guy.
What a great look to him, too.
He was always had a great. I always used to love, like, the freaking flat top with, like, the dye. Oh, my God.
But they didn't really use him right here. The Lashley thing didn't help him. Another case of them even before Pritchard was around pushing like the wrong thing.
Right. Trying to think, oh, Leo Rush is popular. I'll get Lashley over. No,
definitely not. You know, we have your buddies Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson where nobody knows where the hell these guys are going, right?
Nobody knows. 1 minute they say Impact. 1 minute they say AEW. No, nobody knows. 1 minute they're talking about Japan. Nobody knows. Like,
let's see what we got here. Ryan Satin saying that there are strong offers from Impact Wrestling. But Meltzer was saying that, Meltzer also confirms that they were headed over to Impact Wrestling. And the deals that they're getting from Impact Wrestling allow them to work for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So maybe that's why you're seeing that tease.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hell of a carrot to dance in front of them. Like, yo, you guys can come here, and then you can go to Japan too. Like,
their non-compete clauses with WWE expire on July 18th, so they literally have only a few more days, maybe a week, and they could do whatever the hell they want. You're gonna see them on
11 days, to be precise.
There you go.
So, like, in less than 2 weeks, we're probably gonna see exactly where they're gonna show up.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah. And they're going to be a hit no matter where they go. That's the dangerous part about this. Whoever gets them gets a massive addition to their tag team division.
That they can use properly. And we're also hearing like that they've been hanging out with old friends of theirs, right?
Yeah, I've heard everybody from Tanahashi, Nakazaki, everybody.
Yeah.
The Bucks, like.
Yeah, they've been hanging out with the Bucks. And Machine Gun Anderson tweeted, huge meeting with some hashtag elite brothers on Wednesday. Happy to easily go around some of the bullshit that think they run the place and have some real brother conversations. Yeah.
Because we've always heard that's how it is with the AEW guys, especially with the elite guys. It's just like, it's literally like friends talking. It's talking business without it feeling like talking business.
Which is the way it always should be, you know?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I think I love how like a lot of people see this and they instantly were like, yeah, they're going to AEW. You'd be surprised. Like, sometimes they could just run into the buddies. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
That's what got Jimmy Jacobs fired. He just ran into the buddies.
Yeah, they on this picture here, they tweeted, today gave me deja vu, let's party, brothers, hashtag countdown to Fucktown.
That sounds like an indie porno flip. What the fuck? Countdown to Fucktown.
Well, remember, he used to be Sex Ferguson.
Yeah. I love how Sugar Shane beat you to it, too. Says Sex Ferguson back at
in the chat room.
I forgot that's what he was called. Holy shit. Oh, man.
Maybe they will be on being D Elite. That'll be nice.
Oh, yeah,
Anything, I'm just
it's
glad they're
gonna-
gone from what they were.
It's going to be more than that for sure, but that would be cool to see them there.
Wrestling Observer's reporting that Anderson and Gallows already agreed to a deal with Ghetto to work for New Japan. So, and we already know Impact's allowing them to work there, so you're going to see them in both places.
Yeah. Now it's just a matter of, is AEW going to allow it as well? Which I don't see why not, because, I mean, they let Moxley go over there, so.
Well, it's always been New Japan that didn't want that.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. True. I mean, I'm sure they must have worked it into their deals, right?
Yeah, you would think so. Only time will tell. I mean, shoot, we got 11 days till we know for sure.
Gonna be exciting.
Oh yeah, somebody about to come up. Like,
apparently, there's another in the event that's being advertised where a lot of these guys that were released are gonna all be showing up. What the hell is this thing called?
Yeah, I've heard about this event, but I didn't hear about the name.
Let me see if I could find it here. Yeah, I don't remember what the hell it was called. If I knew what it was called, I could bring it up on the screen. That's how technology works.
Yeah, right. We're in the future, guys. You hear that, Pritchard? We're in the future.
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it here. But yeah, there's gonna be this event that's gonna have like a lot of these guys released. Oh, it's Larietto Pro Wrestling, or I believe is what it is. Is this it here?
Larietto. That's different.
July 25th. Gonna special guest Big LG, Doc Gallows, Impact Star Crazy Steve, and Johnny Swinger.
Ooh, Crazy Steve's gonna be there.
Dublin. This is in Pines AG Center.
Yeah, Dublin, Ireland. This is nice. That sounds like it's gonna be pretty cool, though. A lot of the guys who aren't in the past anymore showing up.
Yeah, you're starting to see a resurrection of the indies.
Yeah. Thanks, WWE. Good job, guys.
Well, don't thank them yet, because WWE has officially acquired Evolve.
Well, there's another indie dead.
We talked about it, though. We talked about the fact that Evolve was something that that was in danger. It was either going to go down. There's the same relationship that ECW used to have with WWF, where it was like almost like a little brother or sister, younger sibling style company. And yeah, it's not like they haven't been on the WWE network.
No.
But according to PW Insider, they said that the deal's done. And you're probably going to see a lot more of their library on the WWE network, which is cool because there was a lot of, I mean, we used to review Evolve pay-per-views on here. We don't do it as much anymore, but whenever there was an Evolve, we would run down the whole card. But that was back when we didn't have like 20 different wrestling companies doing weeklies. If you guys recall our early days, we used to talk about every PWG event, every Evolve. We can't do that anymore.
I remember those days.
You know, we used to talk about Samurai Del Sol before he was Kalisto. And all these other guys, Uha Nation, those were good times. But at the end of the day, they weren't making a good amount of money. And Gabe Sapolsky closed the Facebook group. And he said that they won't be having any more shows. So the actual Evolve shows are gone. I guess they'll just keep the library.
Yeah.
But they are bringing in Sal Hamawi, who was the owner of Evolve. They're bringing him in as a creative team member. Gabe Sapolsky, though, is gone.
Oh, so he's like done. Like,
yeah. Because apparently Gabe Sapolsky is behind a lot of the NXT stuff. I really didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's what I didn't even know.
Yeah, so Gabe Sapolsky moved on to NXT Creative, and the Sal Hamawi guy who owned Evolve is going to be running the Evolve program. So it's not going to be completely gone. We're going to have to see how that relationship works out for everybody involved, but it's definitely not going to be the Evolve we've known for years.
It would be nice if some of the big names came over to NXT. And I mean, when I say come over to NXT, I don't mean show up for a few job matches. I mean, like, actually part of the freaking brand.
Yeah, that would be.
Not just like, hey, here's what's his tits to go freaking job out to Karrion Kross. Like,
it's starting to become abundantly clear that WWE is not the product you're going to be able to go to see any of these things that you're wishing for to happen, though.
Nah, that's why I knew right when I heard that that Evolve was going to start working with them, and I was like, that's going to be your guys' death sentence, because they don't give a shit about this brand. They threw on that 10th anniversary pay-per-view just to try to pander to the people who they knew they could believe to that. I was like, it's only a matter of time before they basically try to kill this thing off.
Isn't Gabe Sapolsky the original Ring of Honor owner?
I believe so.
Do I have it backwards? I forget if he went from Ring of Honor to... I believe he did, right? And he went and made Evolve.
Yeah.
Or one way or the other. I forget. I'm forgetting the hierarchy of shit. I'm getting old here.
It happens. But
either way, that's a good creative mind for NXT. He's a good guy to have there.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, yeah. That's a great mind to have with some of the stuff they used to have in both of those companies.
Yeah, for sure. In the meantime, there's been some changes within Ring of Honor, because we are now hearing that Bully Ray, who's been there this whole time, is now gone.
Yeah, Bully Ray's been there for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, Ring of Honor basically let his contract expire. They didn't offer him anything new, but they're not offering... we're hearing mixed reports. We're hearing that they're not offering anyone new deals, but at the same time, we're hearing stuff contrary to that. So I don't know. But it could just be a matter of that. But apparently his contract expired on April 1st. But they had decided at that point that they weren't going to be offering him a new deal, and they just decided to go their separate ways. And he was going to stay until Supercard of Honor, but the event got canceled. And that was it. This was all before the COVID-19 incident had happened. And apparently it was just, there's no heat or anything. There's no kind of issues. Everything is just clean. And I guess that was just the end of his run there.
Yeah, well, it's time to go. How do you feel about his time in Ring of Honor?
It just felt like I don't know, it just felt like a drier version of his TNA run.
Yeah, because his TNA stuff was unreal. Some of my favorite things of him were the original Bully Ray run over in TNA. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like they wanted to capture that. Clearly they did, because that's the gimmick that he went with.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same.
Yeah, it also wasn't the same partially, too, because we'd seen it so much in Impact, so we were used to it. At least that's the way I saw it, because I mean, I felt the same kind of Bully Ray, but it's like, okay, I've seen this Bully Ray for like a year and a half in TNA. I know what to expect. Versus when it first showed up in Impact, and I was like, well, this is different, but...
Yeah, no, it was definitely different.
Great run, I mean, regardless. Like, what the first thing he did was win the 6-man tag titles with the Briscoes, so... Dude kicked the door and immediately doing stuff. He had made Flip Gordon look like $1 million. I loved watching him turn and basically beat the shit out of Cheeseburger. The dude did amazing on his own. So he had a good run for sure.
Yeah. And then this conflicting report that I was telling you about in regards to the reason him being gone is that they're not signing new people. Ion Riccaboni had some issues with that being said and going around. I guess somehow he got insulted. It's funny that for people, but yeah, he put out a statement saying, people out here saying ROH isn't offering contracts. How do you think the most frugal man in wrestling, me, could afford a mock LJN Macho Man? I'm not saying bang down the door for a contract because ROH can't sign quote unquote everyone, but I'm tired of this rumor being out there. I'll make this public. ROH pays me extraordinarily well, for which I'm extremely grateful. I'm aware of multiple extensions, most of which are public, that occurred during the pandemic. I'm about to take over ROH week by week, burn a newsletter, and tell people what the internet's got the scoops. The hell does that even mean? If you're a good wrestler, make a name for yourself and hit up ROH if you have an international reputation, or come to a camp if you don't. ROH pays as well, if not better than everyone else. End rant. You know what my least favorite video on the whole internet was? That quack video saying not to ask what others make. It is anti-worker. Floating out the companies aren't doing new contracts is also anti-worker to suppress wages to sign someone for less money. There's a reason that Glassdoor exists. You should know a fair range of what is to be paid. It is okay to have an idea of what a colleague makes so that you don't get ripped off. It is not okay to tell a trade paper company trade paper companies aren't signing talent to suppress wages to pay talent less. And he says July 18th is right around the corner. I wonder why anyone would float out there that a company with a steady television show isn't doing new contracts. All right.
Ian went in. Shit.
It's good that we have loyalty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit while we're here. There were some special events that happened over this past Wednesday because NXT went against AEW in what I can't even call a pay-per-view, but I sooner have to call a special event.
Yeah. One that we actually knew was coming. One that showed up on, 2 days' notice?
Yeah, so we had AEW Fyter Fest up against Great American Bash, and I wasn't keeping track. Which one was the last minute one? WWE?
Yeah, WWE literally showed up maybe that weekend. It's hey, it's the Great American Bash.
Why did I even ask, right?
Of course. The only thing that was different with Fyter Fest was that I believe a week or two before they had announced that instead of it being a pay-per-view, it was going to be free TV. So not as drastic of an adjustment. Just more of hey, we're going to give you this guys for free. Whereas WWE sitting there just hey, remember that pay-per-view Great American Bash? Guess what? It's going to be on NXT.
I guess that's what they do.
And we're all supposed to get excited. And the sad part about it is with WWE, let's be real, we all pretty much know why they decided to call it the Great American Bash, because fucking Cody's over in the other place. And everybody, and they even mentioned multiple times that Dusty created the Great American Bash.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah, of course. How else are we gonna make sure everybody knows?
So, AEW Fyter Fest Night 1 opens with Jericho rocking his Canada Day sports jacket. A jacket that only he could wear.
Only he could get away with that.
Only a mother could love a man wearing a jacket like that. That thing was a mess.
God.
But patriotic.
Yeah. Oh, Canada.
So we had a tag team match, which was MJF and Wardlow against the Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus being accompanied by Marco Stunt. Finished being Luchasaurus going over Wardlow with the moonsault what's the thing before the moonsault?
It was a wheelhouse kick, I believe.
Into the standing moonsault.
Yeah. Ridiculous athleticism by him. Why is he that big and just moves fluidly? That was the most fluid big man moonsault I've ever seen.
I'm glad that they're pushing him and that they let him go over Wardlow, because I don't know. I'm just sick of these big cliche guys,
Yeah. See, Luchasaurus for me is one of the exceptions just because he's so athletic for his size. Sometimes you forget he's big.
Yeah.
I think, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, he did a shooting star press from off the stage. And it's what?
Yeah, that dude, he's something else.
Ridiculous, amazing look and just athletic. That's a future AEW champion. I'm calling it.
You think so? You think even in the lucha gimmick, even in the dinosaur shit?
I feel like you do. If you make the right moves, you could get a world championship run on him. And that's even with the Jurassic Express still together.
Dude.
It's not the easiest move in the world, but I feel like it can be done.
I like
that would be the.
I like AEW and how charming they are and all of the little quips and quirks and stuff, but I don't know if you can have a fucking dinosaur be your world champion.
Right.
You know, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. You know,
I don't know if they would do it, but I could see it. Maybe, but then again, maybe I'm reaching. I don't know. But
I'm interested in what the chat would think about having the dinosaur top guy.
let's be real. It would be better than a lot of the world champions WWE's had lately. Because at least it'd be something interesting. And he'd be here all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and he's well spoken too.
Yeah. Great, good promos. I mean, fantastic in the ring. And when you look at it from if you're looking at it from like a kayfabe standpoint, stylistically, that's a dangerous competitor to have to deal with. Like somebody near 7 feet who moves like he's probably half his size. That's why I've always liked guys like that. I'm like, realistically, if you look at a guy like that, that's a dangerous thing to have. No, that's on the other side of the ring from you.
Yeah, I just don't know how good they would do with a comedy character like that.
Yeah. He seems like a comedy character that has the potential to get serious at times. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. I know. I like I said, I don't know how he would be able to get serious though with the dinosaur suit.
Yeah. I feel like you have to change the colors.
Yeah.
Because it's like I saw this guy kind of funny, like just like with Sammy Guevara. I saw him for the first time in Lucha Underground when it was nowhere near as colorful. So it's like I've seen it done. It's just how would AEW make that work?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So next match we have was the AEW Women's World Title match. Hikaru Shida defending against Penelope Ford. Finish being Shida going over with the running knee. And Penelope looked good. She probably looked the best that she ever. I told you guys since day one. Since day one, man. I told you guys that girl needed to get a push.
That girl showed out in this match. There were several times where I was like, yo, Penelope's about to walk away with this belt.
I knew it, man. That was one girl. They were pushing the wrong girls, man.
And keep in mind, that wasn't even the first running knee, which she finished with. She hit multiple. She had to hit this girl multiple times with running knees.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she's the best looking girl on that roster.
Oh my god, they had one of my. This was one. If it wasn't match of the night, it was one of my favorites.
Yeah, really well done. I did like the fact that spot where she matrix out of the missile drop kick off the top and then she counters with a stunner.
It was so crazy when it happened. I was like, wait a minute, I need to see a replay of that. Did this bitch just matrix out of the...
Yeah. The only low point to me was Kip. He comes in with a kendo stick and then Shida winds up ducking and hitting him. And then his selling of the blow and the losing of the kendo stick was horrendous. Like, it was like, just don't have that in the match. I did like when Ford kicks out of the Falcon Arrow and Jericho's like, no one kicks out of the Falcon Arrow.
Yo, I had an instant Chucky D flashback. Oh god.
Yeah, overall good match though. Very solid.
Oh, top to bottom. Absolutely great.
Yeah, and then we had the AEW TNT title match. Cody Rhodes being accompanied by Arn Anderson defending against Jack Hager with Catalina, his gorgeous wife. Finish being Hager hits the Uranagi into what was like a head and arm choke. And this is kind of weird. So Hager hits the Uranagi into head and arm choke, and then Cody, he rolls him over for a 3. And that's fine and everything. I just don't understand how at the end of that transition, Hager thought that he won. Like, he gets out of it and he's like, I win. Like,
so it's kind of interesting that they went for this because I've seen it happen in mixed martial arts before. I can't remember which fight it was. It was an Ultimate Fighter finale. I believe it was Gray Maynard and somebody. And what wound up happening was Gray got him with a takedown, and I believe he tapped due to the pain, but Gray knocked himself out. And it was a weird kind of double finish almost. But I remember what they were saying was that after he rolled over, I think it was either JR or Excalibur said, like, Cody's out. So it seems like what happened was Jake felt him go out, but the ref didn't see it. All the ref saw was the pin.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what, at least from what I was gauging, that's what it happened. That Jake Hager was so wrapped up in the fact that, Cody's out, he doesn't realize his shoulders are down and he gets counted out.
Gotcha. Okay, it makes sense. And by the way, before we go any further, I just wanted to say, because I know we haven't been discussing weeklies very often, I am liking the Britt Baker stuff with her and Rebby. Or Reba.
Reba.
I loved...
She's funny. I love her so much.
The dumpster thing was hilarious.
Oh my God. Which one was she threw her into the dumpster?
Well, with Big Swole, where she pulls the Undertaker, remember the "Where to, Stephanie?" And she turns around, she's like, "Where to, Britt?" And
I love how like she was sitting in the plexiglass thing, and Swole couldn't get to it at first. Swole calls up the back of the car with the back of the truck with the garbage can and just pours it all over her. And she gets to go, "Ah, Reba!"
That was the second time. But yeah, when she drove her off the first time, another thing I like about the first one, when she drops off in the dumpster, is the acknowledgement of the camera being there. Why is the camera there? Well, we need to get the footage of me rescuing you. Rescuing me? That's what you think? That I need to be rescued? Where's Tony? You put him on friendship timeout. I did put him on friendship timeout, didn't I? Well, tell him that the friendship timeout is over.
I love that they're keeping her in the mix even though she's hurt.
Yeah, really good performance by her. You know, I'm loving everything happening there. That's entertaining shit.
And I like that, like, Rebel's getting to just be in the mix of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a cool way to introduce
and she fired her,
not just in the background.
At the dumpster, she fired her. She said, "You're fired. You mean I'm free? I mean, you mean I can go? No, you're hired back. You're hired back."
She had that moment of realization, but she had to catch herself. Oh, shit.
Oh, man, that's good stuff. AEW TNT title match, like I said, really good, really solid. After that, we had a bit of a video segment with Darby Allin where he's not cleared apparently, so he's skating around setting motherfuckers on fire in one of his little black and white video packages.
We wish it was live. We said that shit like he was.
That's what it was. He sets them on fire and sends them down a ramp on fire.
God, I don't mind it.
I did like the idea that they showed those the Street Fighter versus AEW shirts. I like that little cross promoting that they're doing there.
Yeah,
I like the
it kind
idea of the
of surprised
shirts.
me with the gaming aspect on that mill.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I like the appearance of them, but I do like the idea of the shirts. But I'll have to take a better look at them. We had a tag team match, Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn being accompanied by Matt Hardy against the Inner Circle being Ortiz and Santana, with the finish being a sling blade across the back of Ortiz, followed by the gin and juice on Santana.
Yeah.
And I like how that sling blade kind of goes into Orton's backbreaker, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird that he's able to do that. I've never seen it before. When I saw it happen, I was like, wait a minute, did he just sling blade him into a backbreaker? But those two have always been known for like the weird way they set moves up. So
yeah, very solid stuff. Very innovative. One of the most innovative tag teams that we have in the business right now. And it's funny because Matt Hardy, he sent out a tweet where he said, "Time is like a flat circle." And this was the image that he sent out with that tweet.
Yeah, I was literally, you read my mind.
Yeah, so I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of, it was really cool. He gets to be Michael Hayes' role from like back then.
Yeah, and they're sort of like the young Hardys, where it's like a team that's doing moves you haven't seen before that's slowly building momentum. So it's cool. I really like that about this entire thing. You know, Matt Hardy, I don't think over the years until later on really got acknowledged for how talented, multi-talented he is. As far as he's pretty much good in anything, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people really got attention drawn to him when he became that broken character, but when you look at it, like it's not even a thing that he needs to depend on. He could never be broken again, and he'd be fine.
Yeah, you know? It's kind of cool. We have like this multi faces of Hardy in a sense in AEW. You never necessarily know which one you're going to get every week.
Yeah, and I like that idea that they're doing this team with them.
Yeah, it's great for Private Party. It gives Matt Hardy something to consistently do, so he's not always around the elite guys. It works out for everybody. I mean, freaking Santana and Ortiz just got a victory over. Private Party got a victory over Santana and Ortiz. That's big for those two.
Yeah, it is. Very, very solid. Very solid.
The second time they knocked off a big name team in AEW.
Mm-hmm. So then we had the World Tag Team title match, which is Adam Page and Kenny Omega, the champions, defending against the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent. And this match had a very special opening. You know what, man? I have to show this.
We gotta see it.
It's too good. Too good. This is epic. Best entrance ever.
Triple H topped this.
AEW Dynamite. Again, we're live at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Happy you're with us. And hey, that's a mighty sharp little minivan.
A minivan.
Fight for the Fallen Part 1 has been, gentlemen.
And look who's behind the wheel. That's Trent's mom, Sue. She's dripping the Challengers.
Have fun.
She said, "Have fun."
Have fun. If they come,
Come here. I need a kiss. Good luck.
Yes.
Kind of tough to keep your Mad Dog face on when your mom's giving you a kiss.
Oh, that is too good.
Biggest opportunity that
His mom dropped
these two
him
men
off.
have had.
minivans are not just for soccer moms anymore.
There's Dr. Baker.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It
your
looked like-
main
it
event
looked
this
like- it
evening
looked
is
like
scheduled
he was
for
trying not to
a
laugh.
60-minute time limit, and it is for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, the Challengers. They were driven to the ring by Trent's mom at a combined
That's
weight of
the-
418 pounds. Trent, Chuck Taylor, best friends.
Young, the Dapper Yapper there, George Hamilton Jr. loves introducing the best friends.
Oh God.
Oh, dude.
I love how he even announced driven to the ring by his mom.
They were driven to the ring by his mom.
That did it for me. Like, you don't see that shit anywhere else. And I'm pretty sure that was like shoot his mom. Like, I hope it was.
Mighty John says NXT is more professional. AEW's 2 hours of comedy. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily fully agree with that. I mean, you're talking about the show where you got Robert Stone, who's a drunken businessman trying to get Rhea Ripley to be his manager, and where you got Kyle O'Reilly playing a fucking psychiatrist doctor to Adam Cole, who's terrified of Dexter Loomis. You know what I mean? You got the show where you got Los Ingobernables de Fantasma showing up in suits talking about the era of lucha. So I don't know if you're gonna say that they're more comedy over here with the shit that we're seeing over there. I'm a fan of both, but I'm looking at NXT as of lately with all of the different jokes and antics and things going on, and it is way, way, way more over there. It is way more. Don't even get me started.
And the worst part about it is, it's like it's not even funny over there. Like
they got
at least
all
in AEW,
kinds of
it's funny.
cartoony stuff happening over there. I can write you a book. I did it last week. I don't want to ruin.
Yeah,
I don't
don't
want
do
to
that
spoil
again.
the chat room again. But yeah, I can write a book of how ever since Vince has taken a special interest in NXT, they've been straight up just having a blast out there. But they both have their ups and downs. They have different nights as far as that kind of stuff goes. So the finish to this is the buckshot lariat from Adam Page to Trent going over.
After a war.
Yeah, pretty much. After a fantastic match.
God.
After an excellent match. So pretty much when the match is over, FTR comes out and they offer beers to Kenny and Adam Page. But Kenny defiantly pours out his beer. We know he doesn't drink alcohol. And the Bucks come out to defuse the situation. And it was interesting because the way that the show went off of the air, I like the subtle things that AEW does. Where it wasn't so much a heel turn, but there was a turn there. Because if you really go back and look at the way that final scene was, I'm sorry, not Trent. Why did I even say Trent? He's already out of the picture here. But Kenny and the Bucks who come out are on one side, and Adam Page and the Revival are on the other. You know?
Yeah, it showed this weird kind of. It's not even as much that like they're breaking up. It's this weird tension that's been sitting there.
Yeah, it is a weird tension. What are you even talking about, Almighty? She said one sentence. The hell? We got bipolar people in the chat room now? Shit. It was weird. Like nobody disagreed with anything. He's done. He's done.
Oh, okay, then.
It was just a strange reaction, right? God damn, people are angrier than you would. People managed to draw that anger that you could only wish a Saiyan would have.
Oh my god!
You know, like I am pissed off at this affair.
You and your one sentence.
Brah.
So yeah, on the other side of the pond.
Who was it? That was the end of it, right?
Yeah, that was a Fighter Fest night 1.
Fighter Fest night 1. And like I said, I love the ending with Paige and the FTR guys. They're standing defiantly against the Elite, and it's like he's almost as if that's what we're leading into. We're gonna have Kenny and the Bucks against Hangman Page and the FTR guys.
And it's kind of funny the way AEW's been doing things, especially with the Page stuff. We don't know if that's for sure where they're going. Yeah. They could be just planting seeds and just letting you imagine.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I'm excited. So.
And so just some side notes about this. Apparently Taz made a statement during this.
Oh yeah.
Where he
you're good. I was gonna say because one of the things about it was they did announce during the event that I believe in 2 weeks at Fight for the Fallen they will have Cage and John Moxley.
Yes.
So basically giving Moxley that time to quarantine, make sure he's good, and then they'll have the match.
Yeah, fantastic that we're gonna get it at some point. You know, it can't be part of the.
And we don't gotta wait long.
Yeah, no, we don't. It's only a couple of weeks, which isn't bad at all. That being said, what Taz basically said was that people were upset about the pandemic, and then he basically said, what was the exact line that he said? That they don't run a sloppy shop here.
Yeah.
Implying that WWE does.
I mean, okay.
I mean, it's not incorrect.
Like, all I'm saying, like, what I hear the number is somewhere around 30 guys. All of the AEW heard, what, 2, 3, maybe 4?
He said, we don't run a sloppy shop here, but I'm not going to get into all that. Even after saying a line like that, you kind of did get into all that.
That's the fucking best line I've heard in years. That was great.
And people in WWE apparently were very, very upset about this. They should be more upset about the fact that they run a sloppy shop than the fact that people acknowledge it. You know?
The WWE in that moment was the ex-girlfriend who cheated on her, and then the ex-girlfriend cheated on you, and then you got mad when you called her a hoe. Like,
yeah, don't shit your pants and then get mad because people notice it smells.
Right.
Stupid company.
That's such a fucking visual. Oh.
You know, like, oh, we're very upset that you noticed that we're shit lately.
How dare you? I acknowledge you on your clearly superior show.
How dare you? You know, don't run a sloppy shop.
Right? Don't get people sick of me. You wouldn't have this problem now, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm just sipping my tea, so.
Yeah, right. We need that button. Do I have that? Do I still have that button? I don't even know if I do anymore.
Tell me it's here. I hope to God we do.
I ain't one to gossip, so you ain't heard that from me.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God, I forgot about that one. I wasn't sure what button you were looking for.
All right. So as you said, at the other side of the pond, you have NXT Great American Bash Night 1.
Which they kicked this one off with Gang Beasts. No, I'm kidding.
There's the NXT Women's Title #1 Contendership Elimination Fatal 4-Way match. Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox. Finish being Tegan Nox goes over with the Molly Go Round into the shiniest wizard on Dakota Kai.
Her Molly Go Round looks really good.
Very good. Candice LeRae's the first one out in this. So much for her little evil push. She was better at serving wine and having dinners in black and white than at being part of this company, apparently, because they did
I'm telling you, I've noticed every time there's something big with Johnny Gargano, Candice is just a side piece.
Yeah. The other thing that upset me about this was, what's up with Tegan Nox's face? Like, she looks like she's just shocked about everything. Like, she has this permanently shocked look on her face throughout the entire match. It's almost like
every time somebody kicked out, she was shocked.
Yeah, like, she's just totally shocked. She's looking around every time somebody kicked out, every time somebody did the spot. Well, every time there was a double team, she was shocked to be teaming up with that person. She was shocked that this person got knocked out of the ring. She was shocked that she inadvertently knocked this person to that person. There were just all these close-ups of just her shock. Like, she's so conflicted. Like, enough already. So conflicted, so caught up in the drama of things.
She's every NPC in a Metal Gear Solid game. Just surprised when something happens.
Yeah. There was this awkward point in the match where Mia Yim ran out of the ring after hitting the ropes. Like, she hit the ropes and then she fell through the middle rope as if someone pulled it down. But it was just her. It was just kind of like hit the rope, gone. And then she was just like crouched down, like outside. I went back and rewinded it. I was like, am I crazy? But it was like, no, she hit the ropes and then just was gone. And I don't know. It was Mia Yim gets rolled up by Dakota Kai in this awkward distraction after she soul foods Nox, and Nox winds up rolling to safety. And even commentary. I don't know who was in commentary with Morrow, because you know how I'm about commentators. But whoever the other dude is, actually,
I think it was name of Vic Joseph.
Big Joseph. Well, he broke kayfabe. I don't know if he realized it. Sometimes when you're speaking, you don't realize that you're saying shit you're thinking. And he had this moment. Because think about it. It's a fatal four-way match. And right when I'm finding things to be mistimed, he says out loud, it looks like there's been some miscommunications. There aren't any miscommunications if all four of you were against each other. There were, however, miscommunications in the choreography of this match that I was thinking about right then. And it's funny because Morrow kind of tries to save it. Like, his voice gets a little bit, he's like, yes, there has been some miscommunications. It's all falling apart. It's like, no, that's not what he meant. He accidentally spoke what he was thinking. There have been some miscommunications because I don't know what the fuck is going on in this match. I'm not quite sure. It feels sometimes like some people are going faster than others, and then the other girl has to either slow down or speed up to catch up to her. There was a lot of improvising. Like, again, you know what? It's always these girls, dude. Every time we talk about anything, it's always the same fucking set of girls. And we wind up back at the end of it, just in case we haven't had enough. We wind up back with the shitty Kai Nox feud because they were like the last two people in it. Before finally Tegan Nox goes over with the Molly Goron Shiniest Wizard. Is that the end of it? Are we gonna keep doing Tegan Nox versus Dakota Kai forever?
Like, at this point, I'm like, send freaking have Dakota Kai carrying Raquel Gonzalez's bags at that point, because like, just no.
Please.
We've established Dakota Kai is garbage as a heel. Move on.
This was the Gang Beats match. I messaged you during it. And I was like, yo, this match reminds me of that game you like. It was like, everybody's just flaying around. It's kind of like it's half based on skill, other half based on gravity.
The best part about it is I hadn't seen the match yet. But just the visual in my head, I was like crying.
Everyone just felt like they were just getting by with their shit, you know? It doesn't feel like like when they set up for a spot, it doesn't feel like they're as confident as a lot of other matches I've seen where things are just kind of going in sequence. A lot of the time, it just kind of felt more like, and I hate to say it, but you guys know how I feel about it. Kind of felt like Lucha Libre. Like, okay, I'll position myself here so that you'll be able to do this to me. All right, I'm going to crouch down and be down here so you could do that. That's always my problem with like the Lucha style. Like a lot of it is just standing. There's not psychology. There's not ring psychology. It's like, why would you be standing there without just to take that spot? Like, it makes more sense, as much as people don't like WWE for, but the reason people don't just flip around is because if you have a match where everybody's just flipping around, think about it logically. Why would a non-worn down opponent stand around while you're flipping around on top of them? They'd have full stamina and strength. They wouldn't be Dave. They just get the fuck out of the way. You would flinch if like a bird or a bat flew toward you. You think that if a human flying through the air came at you when you were fully alert, that you'd be just standing there? So the psychology, ring psychology, which is missing from a lot of stuff, is you wearing down an opponent to the point where either their legs or arms or lungs or something are fatigued enough that we will believe through our suspension of disbelief that they could not move out of the way. What otherwise would be a situation where they can move out of you flying, you fucked them up so badly that they just can't get their footing right now, and now you're hitting the spot. A lot of this just feels like they're just standing around to hit spots. Where's the ring psychology? You know? Not liking it. Not liking that at all. Get it together, NXT. Yeah. Don't put those girls out there if we can't have a fucking match. You know, you're fooling people, but not everybody. Anyways, then we get Timothy Thatcher against Oney Lorcan.
And kick the shit out of each other. Main event of the evening, yeah. Jesus. This I like that this match was more like Greco-Roman chain wrestling more than just like with mixes of them hitting each other as hard as they possibly could in this match. Like,
it's brutal shit, you know. I'm definitely not gonna lie. This is my kind of stuff, and I'm bringing it up here because a lot of people haven't seen this.
Smash mouth.
I need you to take a look at this. All right, you remember this? These videos are awesome. Oh no, they're gonna add us, aren't they? Are they gonna add us? Yeah, they're gonna try to Applebee us.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you were saying like, would you best to be like, these promos sold you on Timothy Thatcher.
Good promos, man. Good promos.
That's a scary. I hate when I do it in a dark alley. Like,
here we go.
Hello again, gentlemen. Welcome to the first day of Thatcher's Thatch Can style wrestling. I will teach you about the details of submission style wrestling. Things no one else will be able to show you. Fujiwara armbar. So, notice here the pressure begins. And this is about as far as it seems like you can pull. If I reclasp and pull up, then it ends up into there. And even so, maybe a little farther. That's not even fully applied. There's applied. Squeal for me, huh? See any questions about that? Next hold, double wrist lock. Come in here, over the shoulder here, rotating the hand in tight there. Even if I have it here and I come across, I put the knee over, then it pulls the shoulder even more. So much more pressure onto that. And if I slowly rotate the shoulders, there it is, there it cranks onto that. Gentlemen, line up. I said line up, get here. This is only the first day. Next time, the real work begins. You're dismissed. Get out of here. Clean up the mess on the way out. You guys are crying all over my mat.
Yeah, you tell him, Thatcher.
I'm pretty sure people would prefer Demont.
Yeah, nah, this was hardcore shit. He dungeoned the shit out of him, right? That was rough there.
God.
You know, but I am liking the Thatcher push. I like what they're doing with him. Finish to this being Lorcan. Only Lorcan tapping to the Fujiwara arm bar. And I'm right with you. Where this match, you guys know this. These matches are my kind of shit, pretty much. You're never going to really hear me complain. But in this particular instance, I was surprised at how short this was. And Lorcan tapping, to be honest. Like, aside from that, the match had the kind of stuff that I like, but I felt like it was cut short just when I was getting into it. You know, and it's funny because they got two of the best technical, mean-faced people that they could find and put them in the ring together. That should last an hour. You know? Yeah. I did love a lot of the sequences and reversals because the fact that Lorcan is no punk either. I liked how Thatcher reversing the single leg crab on Lorcan. Overall, this was really cool. I just would like to see something longer, and I wish that it wasn't such a definitive ending. It's like they still use Lorcan as a good hand, but they're not really going to push him. And it's good that they're going with Thatcher, but I just wish there would have been a little bit more to this, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this was for what it was, the length of the match, it was a lot. It was really entertaining. Like I said, it was a mixture of the chain wrestling, and every now and then somebody would start throwing bones. Like, it was to the point they would go from just throwing the hardest hits to immediately back to the chain wrestling. They never fully abandoned that. So,
and I don't know if I'm being greedy because I just didn't expect it to end when it did. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when it comes to a match that physical, those two you can only really get so much out of it before it just kind of turns into almost a slugfest.
Right.
But and I guess because I don't know if this is going to be the only time they fight each other as well. Knowing only Lorcan, he's not going away. So.
Right.
Maybe the next time around they extend it a little bit and see.
Yeah, Stacey said she wanted more too. See, you know, that's what I felt.
Yeah, definitely nothing wrong with that. Because I mean, it was so fun. You want more after that, like.
Yeah. So next up, yeah, no, go ahead, continue.
I was gonna say because like it was just so entertaining to watch, like.
Yeah. So next up, somebody takes a shit right in the middle of the ring. At least that's what my perception of the next match was. Because you get your 2-on-1 handicap match, Aaliyah and Robert Stone against Rhea Ripley, with the finish being she simultaneously taps both of them with a double prison trap because she's that badass. I'm like overwhelmed with shit to say. Okay, so let me try to handle this objectively.
You have fun with that.
Just answer me. Just try to answer this question. Anybody, including you, anyone who listens to On Demand. Don't you find it stupid that Robbie E is portraying that stupid fucking character? The guy that was a TNA television champ, a TNA X Division champ, and 2-time TNA World Tag Team Champions with Jesse Goddards. And now he can't take a fucking punch from Rhea Ripley?
You know,
they have Rhea at one point in this Boston Crab crossface combo. Think about that for a minute. This is what I'm talking about with ring psychology. Boston Crab, your legs. Crossface, your upper body. And she reverses both. First of all, he's a man. I don't care. It's like I'm not trying to be chauvinistic or anything here, but he's a man. There's a big built man that has you in a Boston Crab while the girl you're facing has you in a crossface You're basically being bent in half, and you reverse out of all of that. And then there was a point where she double suplexes them. So you know what I mean? Double prison trap, double suplex, double reversing out of a crossface and a Boston Crab, but can't beat Charlotte.
You know, there's so many things that I have issues with this match. Yeah, first of all, the Robert Stone thing. But let's be real. This is what happens when you come up in this amazing mecca of wrestling entertainment. They just give you shit. And then on top of that, the whole thing with Rhea Ripley. It's something, and it bothered me more and more, and it hit me during this match.
Yeah, so that's
why? What want to bother me? It literally even goes back to the Charlotte thing. Why is it in this girl's second championship match she's facing Charlotte?
Yeah.
Why the fuck don't you build up to that? Because then guess what? You could only go down, and she fell down.
Yeah, so that's why when that guy came in early, the Almighty John, and he's saying that NXT is takes itself more seriously and AEW is more of a comedy thing. Yeah, did you watch fucking Fyter Fest where we had a chick double teaming and throwing these two people around like it was a fucking Looney Tune segment? Come on,
like nobody walked away okay from this.
Yeah,
nobody. This just proves that even in NXT they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like it's nuts.
So next up, strap match: Roderick Strong versus Dexter Lumis. He winds up tapping Strong to the silence with the strap around him. Of course, predictable ending here. Typical strap match BS. Useless interference from Fish. Just Strong losing didn't work. It didn't. What are your thoughts?
They don't fucking care anymore. They don't give a shit. At this point, I'm like, hey, Dexter Lumis didn't get buried. Fucking fantastic. Like. It made me laugh when Bobby Fish got clotheslined with the strap, though.
That was good selling on his part. The way he ran through the middle and then the strap was lifted and he
because them things hurt.
Yeah, good job there. Good job there. You know, like I said, I would have liked there to be more there.
Why do we expect more nowadays?
I don't even know what I'm expecting. I never thought it would come to the days where the NXT stuff just didn't look as good. You know, and then of course fucking Dexter Lumis being the babyface in this is a big issue. Like, that's just a strange place to start that character out. Even if you were going to eventually go there, to start a character out that's like that, and his first run, the first time people are seeing him is as a babyface, is strange. Maybe for us not as strange because we knew him as Samuel Shaw on TNA and in other companies and stuff, and now this is our first time seeing him as a babyface. But imagine being introduced to that character the way that he is now. Just a face. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't even work in the context.
Nothing about that character says face.
Nothing. Not a single thing. You'd have to somehow do something to make that work. It's just awful with the way that went. I didn't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the match, but yeah, the whole concept thing behind it just did not do it.
Yeah, they can't write for shit.
What else is new?
So Drake Maverick winds up getting beat up by Los Ingobernables de Fantasma, and then Breezango comes in and they do a run-in for the save. So I guess we're going to have Los Ingobernables de Fantasma against Drake Maverick with Breezango.
Yeah, that's literally what they announced for Night 2.
Oh, yeah, good old Night 2. Next, we get Io Shirai against Sasha Banks with Bayley, being accompanied by Bayley. Amy Rose, what's up?
Hey.
You need to get over to our Twitch because you are not going to be able to survive there much longer. Mixer is closing their doors, and I'd love to have you here rather than have you nowhere when that closes its doors.
Right. Y'all better stop wasting time and jump over. Y'all better stop procrastinating.
Yeah, so that's what they announced for Night 2, right? Was that save?
Yeah, that match is gonna be on Night 2, so
we're gonna get the Breezango situation.
Yeah.
What do you think so far? Like, your thoughts of the way that they're pushing guys like that? You know,
I mean, it's so for me, especially when it is more from the Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde, it's good to see them in something instead of just showing up just to get beat. Because that's been my problem with NXT. A lot of these guys who show up from the indies, who we know are fantastic athletes, showing up just to get beat. Like, that's not how you get people over. To hell with that concept that they say, oh, it takes 5 years to build a star. Motherfucker, you could build a star in an hour if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, why do they have to have quotas of shit like that? Like, where do they get these numbers from?
Like, no, it maybe takes 5 years for you guys to build a star. It takes, I guarantee you right now, we could build one in a week and a half.
Yeah, get over yourself with your numbers.
There are guys we knew were stars long before they were stars.
Exactly.
I love one of my favorite things that Cody ever said, and I know they talk about when it came to guys like the Lucha Brothers, all these guys. A lot of these guys, they go over there, they were stars before they showed up. They let them be those same stars. If somebody was over somewhere else, they're over when they show up at your place. You know why? Because the people who followed them there are going to follow them over here.
Whereas
The
over here,
DJZ fans followed Walking Wild over here.
Whereas over here, they deflate the entire thing.
Yeah,
you know.
It was like I said before. When you show up in WWE, whether it's NXT, Raw, or SmackDown, you officially are saying you're okay, never being the best again, because you're not the best when you come over here. It doesn't matter what you do, because you're not the best because you're the best. You're the best because you're that flavor of the month.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. But I mean, that team did actually get an actual name, not the fun one we got. They call it Liga de Fantasma. Ours is better. So,
what is the name of it? I didn't even know they gave it.
I believe it's called Liga de Fantasma. Yeah,
it's
like I said, ours is better.
Los Ingobernables de Fantasma. They practically took it.
Yeah, they might as well just minus the cool people.
Yeah, and you called it. You called it that whole shit was going to unfold the way that it did.
I kind of wish I didn't now.
But you did. You know,
Yeah.
I knew it, man. I knew it. I felt it and I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it all along. I was just like, it's the easy route to go. Like, they can't be that stupid. Like,
but alas, they were.
Yeah.
So, finally, we get Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks with Bayley, with the finish being Asuka showing up and nailing Sasha with the green miss. Shirai going over with her moonsault.
Yeah, moonsault to the back for the win.
Yeah, back moonsault. Good for her. Poor Sasha. Poor Sasha.
Yeah, Sasha with the bullet monkey tonight.
Yeah, she caught it. All right, she got the green face. As a matter of fact, there it is there. And it's funny because when I saw that, when I forgot. Don't ask me how, but I forgot that this happened to her. So I thought that she was trying to like look like the Hulk and indicate that she's angry about shit. And I was like, oh, she did like a Hulk. And I was like, oh, that's right. This is not
You
deliberate.
got misty,
It just looks so evenly distributed. You know, it's just that Asuka has a really good spit pop.
Yeah. So her aim improved with that mist.
Yeah, look at that. That's perfect, right? Look at how she
She
got the
got
tone.
every bit of that.
She got that perfect. She got that perfect.
It's the first
banner.
time she used it in a while too.
She got that perfect Bruce Banner tone in.
Oh my god, that Bruce Banner tone in.
Don't you know her secret? She's always angry. You know, she's pissed off there, man.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a kind of cool to see. We had 3 NXT alum all in the same place.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it was cool. I think this was maybe the second time Asuka's basically came home, so it was great to see her. Just everything. Oh, that is such a sad face.
Yeah, she tweeted, "You're welcome, Io Shirai, but this isn't over." And she said, "It's only just begun." And she put hashtag let get extreme, hashtag 2 belts Banks, hashtag Sasha 3 shows. And how
I feel about the Sasha 3 shows one.
So the hell was with Sasha and Bayley showing up in a Jaguar with a dog, like that was her little dog or something?
So yeah, I believe that was Sasha's dog, but that's something I don't know if you remember. Sasha used to do in NXT for big matches. She would show up in a car,
but not with a dog.
Not with a dog. The dog was different.
It's weird, you know.
But one thing where I caught Ray Morrow went all a mistake here. He'd mentioned that the last time Sasha was a singles competitor in NXT, she beat Bayley.
You know what? You just made the list. Oh no!
Here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you for the follow, Trixie Powerful.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome.
But yeah, it was actually Bayley who beat who beat Sasha in that Iron Woman match.
Yeah, so he messed up there.
Yeah.
So,
Rare moral mistake, though.
Mm-hmm. Crazy looking German suplex that Shirai winds up hitting Sasha with.
Is it like Sasha just folds with some of those moves? Like, holy crap.
Gotcha. Very cool. It's Trixie Powerful with Amy Rose. Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
That nasty spot where Sasha sunset bombed Shirai from the top of the apron to the outside against the plexiglass. Then she just tosses her onto the floor afterwards.
She threw her so light.
It was crazy. It was absolutely.
Yeah, I love when Sasha had Io in the tree of woe, and Io punched her from underneath, and she tried to go for the Meteora, and Io popped up at the last minute and wound up almost going for the moonsault, but landed on her feet.
Yes, excellent stuff. Overall, it was good. I don't have many complaints here. You know.
No, not really many. Just that one shit in the middle of the event, but
not in that match. No, the event. I have complaints across the entire event.
Oh.
You know.
Yeah, that match was good though.
It's the Great American Bash. Save that shit for your NXTs and maybe even consider not doing it that. But don't call
actually give it some kind of promotion.
Yeah, don't do the Great American Bash last minute. Which Cody, by the way, his father's the one who made it. That's why he was wearing a Great American Bash shirt. And it's just funny. You literally put his father's event up against their event that they planned like way ahead of time.
They didn't give a shit about the event. They just wanted to take a try. They just wanted to take another failed dig at AEW.
Yeah, which sucks. So we know that night 2 of the Great American Bash is this Wednesday, as well as AEW Fyter Fest night 2. As far as night 2 of the NXT, we have Mercedes Martinez is going up against a mystery opponent. Mia Yim against Candice LeRae in the street fight. Damian Priest against Cameron Grimes. El Legado del Fantasma against Drake Maverick and Breezango. And then finally the NXT title and North American title both being defended. Winner take all, Keith Lee versus Adam Cole.
The first ever dual champion will be crowned, which also, side note, congratulations to Adam Cole, who hit over 400 days as NXT champion.
Yes, congratulations.
So he joins, I believe, Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Pete Dunne, and Walter as for the few champions who have hit over 400 days.
Mm-hmm.
All from NXT, ironically.
Yeah. So essentially, there was an issue where we're not going to talk spoilers here, but apparently something happened where Saurav Gujjar, remind me who the fuck that is again?
He is one of the two guys in this year, that big tag team where
the
they
hairy
told us like we were
dudes?
supposed to know who they were.
The hairy dudes?
Yeah, the big hairy dudes in skirts. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to spoil next week for anything, but as you know, it is Keith Lee versus Adam Cole. The winner takes both the NXT World Championship and the TV title. Apparently, this guy, for some reason, put a picture on his Instagram of the victor holding up both titles in celebration last week. And the internet went completely nuts. And WWE is pissed off at this particular hairy dude. And apparently, and we don't know if this is damage control or not, but what's being said by developmental talent EJ Duca, is that how you say this person's name? They're quoted as saying, we don't run a sloppy shop. 2 endings, 2 stories. Find out next week. So the rumor going around is that, and at least this is a rumor, that WWE deliberately put up that screenshot of that ending to throw people off, and that they actually pulled a Walking Dead Negan and they filmed 2 different endings of that match so that people wouldn't know which was real. If anyone who watched The Walking Dead, when we didn't know who killed Negan, there was legit footage that I saw, I think we even played it on here, where Maggie got her head bashed in by Negan.
Yeah. They filmed something for every character.
They did it with everyone just so that they could throw people off the scent. So we're hearing, and we don't know if this is damage control, but we're hearing that the leaked picture was deliberate, which I guess we will find out this upcoming Wednesday.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Either way, I don't like it. I don't like spoilers and I don't read spoilers, but I also don't like the idea that something that's supposed to be handled like a sport is now being handled like an AMC show. They shouldn't be able to tape multiple endings. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, still treat it like wrestling. Just because you're taping it. Like, don't fuck with it to that extent. You know?
But see, they're only a sport when it's convenient.
Yeah. But apparently, they taped 2 endings. So we'll know on Wednesday whether or not what leaked. Everyone will know if whether the picture of the champion that they saw is the one that actually leaves there with both titles.
Yeah. And I mean, either way, no matter what happens, whoever you are out there, goodbye to your non-push.
Yeah. we don't run a sloppy shop. 2 endings, 2 stars. I love that they use "we don't run a sloppy shop." That to me indicates even more that they were salty about what Taz said. They didn't even use it in context to what he was talking about. They just wanted it to be known somewhere that they don't run a sloppy shop.
Nobody spoils endings in AEW, so fail.
Incredible. And that brings us to the results of the Wednesday Night Wars, with AEW bringing in a 2-hour average of 748,000 fans. 0.29 in the 19 to 49 demographic. NXT wins with 792,000 fans. 0.22, however, lower in the 18 to 49 demographic. So 40,000 difference. NXT won by about 40,000 more fans. Whereas last week, NXT also won. They had 786,000 versus the 633,000 that AEW had. But once again, NXT winning in the 786,000, but it was only 0.19 in the 18 to 49 demographic. 633,000 for the 0.22. So to explain to anybody how ratings work, because ratings are a funny thing. The reason why we always talk about demographics here is because that's the only ratings that count. And I hate to say this, and it's shitty to say, but if you're below the age of 18 or if you're 50 and above, you don't count. When people try to quantify what sells to people, you're no longer the target demographic. So if all of the people that were 50 and above and all of the people that were 17 and below were to watch AEW and NXT every single week, they never count in any numbers anywhere. 17 and below, 15 and above, you are off of any stats of anybody studying anything. That's ratings. So this is the reason why we say there were 748,000 fans, but they got a 0.29. That's how it's possible, because people don't understand. Like, if AEW had only 748,000 fans, how did they have a higher with the 0.29 versus NXT that had 792, but they only had 0.22? That indicates to us that a large percentage of the fans that that NXT won with were either below 18 or above 50. So although their numbers count towards having a higher viewer set, they don't have higher ratings, because the ratings, again, are to 18 to 49.
Yeah, even Jericho pointed that out when everybody was just like, he basically called out a lot of the fans who were just like, oh, you're only looking at that number. You're not looking deeper into it.
It's really subjective. It's you people, all of you out there's opinion on how you feel about that. Because Jericho did say that. He said, here's a lesson about television ratings, kids. Last night, AEW Wrestling was number 6 in the 18 to 49 demo. To TV networks and advertisers, it's the only number that matters. And we were up 31% in that area. So once again, AEW Dynamite is the real winner in the Wednesday night ratings war. So again, they're up in ratings. They're down in viewership. So this is why some people argue the ratings don't matter, because they say if the only time the ratings matter is if you're 18 to 49, and if the only time the ratings matter is if you're watching it on live TV, and if the only time the ratings matter is when you're on cable and you're turning into that specific channel, not when you're on DVR or downloading it or getting it from another source or watching it on Fight TV or going to the WWE network. If the only time the ratings matter, specifically when you're 18 to 49, turning on the fucking TV, and it's when it turns on with the show and you're watching the whole time, this is ratings. Some people's argument is that that leaves out a gigantic portion of the wrestling community. It leaves out people who are 17 and below. It leaves out a lot of older wrestling fans that are 15 and above. It leaves out people who are watching on the Fight TV, Fight.tv. It leaves out people who have the WWE network. It leaves out people who are watching it on DVR. You understand what I'm saying? Or even illegally download. It's leaving out. So that's the whole argument of ratings don't matter. But my argument would be, if you're going to say ratings don't matter, say ratings don't matter at all. Don't say that, like Jericho's argument is more that the ratings matter in the 18 to 49 demographic, not the whole viewer demographic, which to me, I don't think any of that shit works right. Because either way, you're not counting everybody.
Yeah.
There are wrestling fans that are above 50, and there's definitely wrestling fans that are below 18. So that's a real shitty way to measure anything. We kind of keep you guys into the loop with these ratings, not because they matter to us, but because they matter to the networks. I've heard a lot of people who are running podcasts, noobs in podcasting, now saying, we don't give a shit about ratings. Anybody else don't give a shit about ratings? No, we don't give a shit about ratings. Yeah, fuck ratings. It's kind of like, look, Nobody gives a shit about ratings. Newsflash. Just because you hear somebody reporting something dick-a-heads does not mean that they give a shit about it. However, because other people give a shit about it, like the stations, the networks, the USA Network, the NBC Network, who's a parent company of USA, the TNT Network, these companies look at that number, and that's what determines the amount of money that they're giving for the resources and the time in which these wrestling companies are using. So whether we believe in ratings or not doesn't change the fact that it has to determine where things are at. So we use it as a determining factor. But I love the way anyone who brings up ratings on their shows automatically now categorizes someone who cares too much about ratings. You don't have to care about it. You just have to understand it.
There's a difference.
So then anyway, that's why I wanted to bring up the rating thing here, because Jericho brought it out. He brought up his argument of it. And I think it's important that if you're going to have an argument or a stance against something, at least know what you're standing against. That's the problem I have with social media and shit nowadays. Everybody wants to talk about what they're not against without fully understanding why or why they're not for it. You know what I mean? That's how ratings work. I don't think the shit's good because most people do watch and consume a lot more content without sitting in front of their television on their couch with their remote and turning on the television. Like, it literally, specific circumstances that almost don't exist in today's society have to be met for you to get that rating. That probably rules almost everybody out that's listening to this show. So the system needs to be revised. But Jericho's point, which is accurate, is that the only number that the television companies worry about, the TV networks and the advertisers, is that 18 to 49 demographic, because with their research studies that they do, it shows apparently that a lot of the things, and it's not everything, there are other things that have demographics that are different on other channels. There are things that are for older people, 15 to 65 demographic. However, this determines what advertisers are going to be there. Microsoft and Sony, Nintendo, they want to put their advertisements on when there is something intended for ages 18 to 49, because those are the people that have money that they're willing to spend on Nintendo. If you are 17, you do not have money to spend on Nintendo. You want Nintendo, but the people that have the money for it are 18 to 49. So this is essentially the reason why it matters to the advertisers. They want to know how many people 18 to 49 years old are watching this show, because they want to know if it's worth putting their games and their products and their cell phones on at this time. And if it isn't, then they're going to look for another time or another channel where people who are within that age category are watching. That's the only purpose that rating serves. Anyway, what fun shit we talk about on here, right?
Oh, yeah. Every now and then you got to educate people.
And every now and then you do.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do we got in the news category to talk about here? We're not staying on here all night. We've been doing good time, actually, though, I must say.
Even amongst some of the massive amounts of stories we've had to do the past couple of weeks.
Yes, even with the massive amounts of stories. Okay, so Kathy Laurinaitis had to undergo brain surgery.
Yep.
That's fucking scary.
Right. For those who don't know, that is also the Bella's mom.
You would kind of hope that they'd know.
Right. I mean, you never know. Some people out there ain't that bright, so.
Yes, Kathy Laurinaitis undergone brain surgery. Never realized until I looked at this photo how much she looks like them. Good God.
Right.
You lucky guy, Johnny Ace. Holy shit. There you go. Got a Bella mom. But yeah, she went for brain surgery. I guess it's being reported that they thought she had Bell's palsy, but it's a mass on her brainstem, and she couldn't sleep. Apparently this is Bree saying that she couldn't sleep because she was praying all night. Okay, that is crazy. Oh, come on, George, too soon. Anyway, she went through the brain surgery apparently since then. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, she went through the brain surgery. Nikki tweeted this time, Mama Bella had a very successful surgery. Can't thank you all Enough for your prayers, love, light, and beautiful words. Can't wait for my mom to see how loved she is. It's going to mean the world to her. Now prayers for recovery, and thank you to the surgeons who took such incredible care of her. Can't thank you enough. Feeling very blessed and grateful right now. So relieved and happy. Can't wait to squeeze my mom. She'll be in ICU in a few days, but when I can, she's getting a really big hug and kiss. Mr. John Laurinaitis, thank you for being her and our family's rock. We couldn't have gotten through this today without you. Love you. So I'm glad that turned out okay. That's some scary shit, brain surgery, you know.
Exactly. Ain't nothing to joke with.
Good for her, man. Very good. Glad to get some good news nowadays.
Right.
What else do we got going on here? Okay, the Saudi Arabia thing. Saudi Arabia nights, like Arabian days. Why did I do that?
But yet you want to. It's a wonderful time of the year. I see how it is.
So basically, the lawyer for WWE, Jerry McDevitt, he filed a motion to dismiss the case about 2 weeks ago in the District Court, Southern District of New York. And apparently the only sources cited in the CAC are two confidential witnesses. Neither of them interacted with the individual defendants, participated in negotiation over the MENA rights deal, or worked at WWE corporate offices. Declarations provided by defendants prior to the filing, the CAC, and a series of news reports that consist almost exclusively of unsupported content cherry-picked from wrestling websites founded on multiple layers of hearsay and unverified statements from Twitter. The allegations are all based on speculation from news reports, such as a wrestling-focused website that itself is based on statements by WWE Spanish commentator who is not employed by WWE and who has based his own story on another unnamed party. So they're talking about Hugo Savinovic. If you guys remember, we played his clip on here months ago where he spoke in Spanish about what the hell was going on and how they were there. And they basically said that the so-called media reports also include other unidentified wrestling-focused websites that cite to an individual who is supposedly in contact with the sources in the WWE that stated the Saudis come up short by a couple $1 million every show. And they're from self-proclaimed wrestling journalists. And this motion is to dismiss all of the claims of false information. So, yeah, they're denying it in short here is what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Trying to make it go away, it sounds like.
Do you believe them, or do you believe Hugo in regards to the fact that the Saudi Arabian people held them hostage?
Yeah, with that place, I just don't even know anymore. Like, what motivation would Hugo have to lie about that, you know?
Yeah, I have no idea. But of course, it is typical for them to deny it, you know?
Yeah, that's what they do with a lot of stuff. They deny everything, so that's what makes it even harder to believe on their end, too.
So he released a statement. I'm going to bring it up here.
What happened when the wrestlers were in Saudi Arabia.
Let me see something. Let's try to find.
Dije aquí. Y lo que yo dije, yo lo sostengo. Lo voy a traducir. There is a lawsuit with WWE, and for some reason, the main lawyer of WWE was trying to discredit my information on what happened when the wrestlers were in Saudi Arabia. So I'll try to explain some of that in English. My reputation in the business goes since I was 40 years old. And I debuted as a pro wrestler, and then production, creative, color commentary, play-by-play, more than 70 years with WWE. And Vince and everybody knows that I am not a liar. I am a man of God. I am a pastor. I'm a reverend. And 20% of all my money that I make goes to help orphanages. I do not need to get a like by saying something that is not true. And that was given to me as an information. There are other wrestlers that have said that, and they have named even people from WWE. And for some reason, they just got my name on it. And I repeat, this was given to me by people of WWE the same day that this was happening. And it's very sad because I don't need to do this to make a like. I don't make money doing this. This is a passion. I use this as a tool to evangelize, and it's very sad. I don't have anything against WWE. I love WWE. They were my family and will always be for 17 years. I have nothing to do with lawsuits. This was given to me, and the people at WWE TV studios and headquarters that same day, it was panic mode, and that was like what the story was, that they held the talent because of a argument between Vince McMahon and the Prince down there. This was the information that headquarters and WWE studios were given. And that's what I was told. And also from a person that I know from Saudi Arabia, from the years that I've been in the business. And he informed me of that. I'm not making money with this. Everybody's afraid of WWE, or obviously everybody's afraid of Saudi Arabia. And I don't think Saudi Arabia has credibility when they kill their own countryman, the reporter in their embassy in Turkey, and still today, nobody has forgotten that. I believe that it was wrong for the WWE to go back there, but I just stated what I was told. I wasn't there, I stated what I was told. Así que lo dije en inglés porque quiero que lo sepan. Hay una página mexicana.
Well, you get the general idea.
Yeah. It's craziness. My God.
It would look bad if they don't like people to talk about anything. That's what I've noticed about this company. You know.
Yeah. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, that's what makes it hard to believe anything you say. It's like, if you have nothing to hide, why is it such a problem when people talk?
That's a good question. But
no other companies really that's secretive like that.
Maybe that was part of the agreement when they patched things up with Saudi Arabia.
Could be. WWE will sign up just about any agreement as long as they're getting paid something.
As long as nothing ever makes them look bad, I think that's the main thing that they worry about. They're like, we don't want to ever look bad in anything that we do.
They're doing a great job at that so far.
Yeah, it just makes them look worse because you're right. Like if there's no secrets, then why you need people to not talk? There should be nothing to not talk about. It is definitely shadiness.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's take a look here. In other news, what do we got going on? Still looking at our wonderful program here. So the attorney went back with this, and once again, this attorney, Jerry McDevitt, he's quoted as saying the only thing interesting about this rant is his statement that somebody offered him money to tell this tale. We have sworn affidavits from the people who were actually there and responsible for the character flight, who have explained that the problem was a fuel pump in one of the wings and that a replacement part had to be secured from another city, which took a good bit of time to locate and have flown in. It's really that simple. And he said that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia had nothing to do with the flight delay, and that it's a shame that this guy's unsourced fables have detracted from the real significance of that event, which was the first female wrestling in Saudi Arabia. And he said KSA had nothing to do with the delay, and that it's a shame that, that happened. They said his whole story is absurd to anybody who really thought about it, including the 200 to 500 million part. He's just trying to get clickbait. He does not want to go to court because he would have to reveal his supposed sources if they really even exist, which he doubts. So in essence, the story comes down to some guy with no personal knowledge of anything who does not want to be cross-examined on his fable versus the sworn testimony of people who were there and in charge of the charter. The problem being a fuel pump in one of the wings, but it's important to note that it's not just him saying that. The sworn affidavit and the director and commercial charter plane who was on the ground in Saudi Arabia when this all happened establishes that KSA had nothing to do with the plane issues, and the closest available replacement fuel pump they could locate was in Jeddah, and that the part had to be secured and shipped to Riyadh on a commercial flight, which arrived approximately 18 hours later. What do you think?
Whew, I mean, it'd be a hell of a story just to concoct. So it's kind of weird because it's like on both sides you're hearing you're hearing a completely different story. One side you're hearing, oh, they were basically in a sense kidnapped there because of the falling out Vince had, whereas now you're hearing this story and it's like I it's fucking nuts. But then like we're saying, WWE kind of shoots themselves in the foot too when they're talking about nobody talk. Like
that's their whole MO. Nobody talk.
Yeah. The problem with a statement like that, the problem with making a move like that is you make yourself look really shaky. Then it makes it to where anything that comes from your side instantly has a little bit of like tainted on it.
Doesn't matter. Nobody talk.
Yeah, right.
Writing
it down. Nobody talk. Oh god.
Short and sweet. So we are hearing that Rey Mysterio is no longer under any kind of WWE contract.
Yeah, he's literally going, in a sense, night to night.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Terrible.
Isn't he in like one of their main storylines, one of their main guys?
Yeah.
You should secure him.
You lock him in before you do anything.
So his contract started September 2018 and it expired, according to F4W Online. Not good. So yeah, you're right. He's working on a handshake agreement right now.
Pretty much like, hey, you gonna show up? Yep.
Apparently Vince didn't want to give him any more money.
And he's totally starving for cash.
According to Wrestling Observer Radio, Mysterio asked for a raise and Vince said that they don't have the money to do that right now. Which is kind of funny when you really think about that.
What about all the releases to save all that money? Oh, wait, that was just the investors. Never mind. Silly me.
Apparently Vince said, look at the situation we're in. And we just got rid of a bunch of people. Yeah. Interesting. So he just kind of kept him around. In a way, he's still working without the raise, though.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just he could quit whenever he wants, but you got to be careful about that.
He could literally dip out the night before Extreme Rules or whatever they're calling it this week.
Yeah. Apparently, Meltzer's saying that they don't want him leaving because they have the Dominic story that they're working on. When has that ever stopped them?
Right, then sign him under fucking contract.
Yeah. That is crazy. And apparently, according to Meltzer, they've been using him on television for months without a contract. It's not something that just happened this week. They said they basically worked under the agreement of he'll work through this I storyline. But apparently, originally, the plan was that if they didn't work out a deal when the I thing first happened, that was supposed to be him being written off. And then they brought him back. So I don't know. But Meltzer also said that he said that the fact that he's not signed and they've got a number that they want and he's got a number that he wants, the reality is that they have not met his number and he's not agreeing to their number, and that would tell him that it's amendable to somebody else's number. Which, that's very good logic there, Mr. Meltzer. Right. Good old Uncle Dave. It is, what number is Ray competing? What are they're competing against? A phantom number is what he's basically realizing here. Rey Mysterio is asking for a certain amount of money. WWE is not willing to give it. He's holding his ground with that number of money. That's usually a sign that there's another place offering him the money that he's asking for.
Wonder what that place could be.
Well, where else? Lucha Underground. Right?
Season 5. Let's
Lucha
go.
Underground. This is it. Do I have the
he's a former trio champion over there, so no.
do I have the thing for that?
Oh, tell me you have it. Tell me you have it.
I don't even think that I do.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, right. I feel terrible about that.
I was waiting for it too. Like I was just waiting. He got surprised. There, boom. Like,
yeah, no, we wait.
I'm gonna get sad now. There it is.
Anyway, a lot of people are speculating it's AEW. So that's what it is. AEW, he'll be able to make the money that he wants. They're willing to give him Sting money, as Jericho calls it. Remember, that's how Jericho got out of working for TNA, right?
Yeah.
They came to him. They wanted him to work, and he said, "I want Sting money," and they went away. That was good. I love that Jericho story. When he told me that I lost it, he was like, he asked for Sting money.
Yeah, I want Sting money. Nah, boo.
They just ended the negotiations fucking right there, right?
There's a reason we call it Sting money.
I can't even imagine what they were paying Sting. And I like Sting and everything, man. But don't you kind of feel like in his latter years, he really like fucking raked in from these companies that just wanted that name? And dude, he's a good guy, but the Sting that we see is never really the Sting that, aside from in character, like in the ring, he was never really as impressionable as in his younger years. It was the Crow stuff that was cooler. The wrestling, I hate to say, but if you go back and look at the colorful Sting, the big muscular guy, that guy was really athletic and his matches were really entertaining. The other Sting, not that he's bad or anything, because he's always a great technical wrestler, but it was more the Crow shit that was more over than the guy. And he certainly wasn't in that Sting shape anymore.
Remember that time in TNA for like months on end when he wrestled in a shirt?
He makes the most money in his life as a 50-year-old man. Yeah, he did wrestle in a shirt. A lot of the time, I hate to say it, man. Again, Sting fan here. That motherfucker was wrestling in a t-shirt. And not for good reasons.
That motherfucker had the singlet on with a shirt over it.
7 minutes into his match, he looks fucking exhausted. Half the makeup's running down his face. His forehead's just completely unmakeup. Then,
my favorite thing used to be when my favorite thing used to be when not even when the face paint ran, but when he had like that lock of hair off, and you see the paint just flicked off on it.
You damn right you should get Sting money.
You can get money to go 5 minutes and burn out.
You really should. It is crazy. All right, well, you get to pick. You in the chat room get to pick. Because we have more regular stories that we could always talk about. But really, at the end of the day, we either have to talk about the illness or we got to talk about the rapists. No, wait, what? Want to speak? Do you want to speaking out? Do you want to speak about the vid?
Oh my God. I see what you did there. That's fuck.
Speaking out of the vid.
Oh God.
Whole vid or COVID?
Yo, when you said the vid, I was like, what?
None.
Say somebody else got the leak?
None. You guys, if you guys legit want, I'll stay with regular wrestling stories. We have a big enough program. We have a big enough program. We could just ignore all of it. You're not interested in who got suspended or fired? Nothing with Austin.
I feel like being depressed this week, so I mean.
You know what? There's not a lot this week. If you guys really want, we could just not do it. It won't even be a segment if we were to.
You shouldn't be?
What?
The fact that like, it would barely be a segment. Like,
you know what, man? It's short enough. The speaking out stuff is short enough that we can run through it real quick, I think.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah, let's get it out of the way.
Joe Coffey and 2 of the NXT UK refs got fired.
I heard Coffey got suspended.
Joe Allen was fired from the company. Oh, sorry. Joe Coffey was suspended and Chris Roberts was fired. Okay. And it was due to the speaking out movement. And also Ligero, Travis Banks, Jack Gallagher, also, as you guys know, gone. Austin Aries. Apparently there was a story where he had Red Titus' girlfriend kiss his testicle.
What the fuck?
Yeah?
What?
I mean, you got to give credit if you can even have that happen.
Yeah,
you got to give credit. That's a special level of evil. You know, like that's not just like fucking Papa. That's not like Gargamel versus Papa Smurf evil. This is like Voldemort levels of shit. When you have, anyway. So he said you had someone. A fan tweeted to him and said you had someone's girlfriend kiss your nuts because you thought, "LOL, what a rib. You're a creepy little bastard. Stop being weird." And then Austin Aries replies and completely denies that this happens. He says that it's ridiculous. No, he doesn't. He doesn't deny it at all. He just justifies it. I'm kidding. He didn't deny it. Has he ever denied anything? He says, a rib? No. I was proving a point and teaching a lesson, and it was quite effective. I tell the story in my episode 1, Be Transparency.
Jesus Christ. That man basically said, I sack-tapped your woman for knowledge.
You're damn right she kissed my nuts. And I'd make her kiss him again if I needed to teach that lesson again. Wait till I teach her a lesson next week about the shaft in episode 2.
Oh my God.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy, man? What is wrong with this man?
The motherfucker said, wait till I teach him the shaft in episode 2.
In episode, and you will too. And you will too, Stacey. That's right, episode 3, the boyfriend has to kiss the nut.
Oh.
This is high level shit. This is like beyond the Kiss My Ass Club. This is to go even further.
Oh my God, this is the Tap the Sack Club.
This is the Kiss My Ass Club. And this is to go beyond the Kiss My Ass Club. Someone called this Kiss My Ass Club too.
No.
And this.
Oh. Ew.
Da, 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 da,
No.
You see him pulling the shorts to the side. Da, 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 da. Is that Aries' nuts?
Oh.
Kiss these nuts.
Oh God, how do you want to write that down?
Like, what is wrong with this guy?
You judge me for wearing a mask outside, but you had a woman kiss your nuts.
Yo, let's talk about that a little bit, because he apparently got a lot of heat for that mask shit, right? I haven't seen it yet, but I have some shit here. What is this? Am I going to be surprised? Am I going to be spoiled here?
That it's not the same. Heart disease in the United States alone takes 500,000 lives a year. We have just hit that number globally for this virus. Heart disease alone kills 500,000 Americans a year. And people say, well, that's a choice. Well, if you're choosing lifestyle choices that you know are going to contribute to disease and sickness and dying, why now is the onus on me to take measures to help you in your health when you're not going to take those same responsibilities on yourself? People, listen, we're all in this together. I have no problem wearing a mask, but the mask isn't the solution. And let me tell you that my big fear is all of you right now that are out there saying, just wear a mask. What's so hard about wearing a mask? It's easy. It's the right thing to do for the greater good. You guys are missing the point. The point is, the mask is or is not the root of this virus, and it's not going to be the end of the virus. Dividing people on two sides of their political parties, which I don't belong to any. The blue people all think they're virtuous in wearing their mask, and it's the right thing to do because it's compassionate. And the red people are all about their rights and their freedoms, and I shouldn't have to wear a mask if I don't want to wear a mask. I think there's something in the middle. If we're all going to work together to solve this, my point is, ladies and gentlemen, what you put in your shopping cart, what your dietary choices are, what your lifestyle choices are, those are going to impact you far more than if I wear a mask or not. You getting this virus or not isn't a death sentence. There's a lot of people, as we're finding out, and I think the only thing that's been consistent since this COVID event started is that there's been a lack of consistency in what they know, in what they report, and what they tell us. It's been masks. It's been save the masks for just the healthcare workers, to Now everyone should wear masks. So the information keeps changing. I keep going back to personal responsibility. If we're really concerned about staying healthy, let's take a look at our lifestyle choices.
He's not wrong about the lifestyle choices. Those things definitely do help. You know, I mean, personally, I think eating proper, eating clean food, staying away from a lot of sugars and carbs, you know how I am, not drinking alcohol. Yeah. And shit, this is spur of the moment. I'm trying to think of another one that might help. Oh, yeah. Wearing a fucking mask also might be useful.
When there's a virus afoot, Mr. Aries.
You know what I mean? Like, wear a fucking mask.
I hate these guys where it's just, like, I love how his logic is just like, what's me wearing a mask going to do? Well, let's see, prevent the rest of us getting fucking sick.
It's just simple logic, though. And then people are making up things about, oh, you know, you're actually breathing in your own carbon monoxide and you're making yourself more ill. Doctors wear masks.
Stupid.
Ninjas wear masks or wore masks. You know what I mean? Masks do not do that. Stop it. Wearing a mask, one thing, there's no neck thing, a Democrat thing, and then a Republican thing. Don't do that shit. Wear fucking masks, man. Trust me. Just wear it. And a lot of establishments, it's up to the responsibility of a lot of establishments to make it where you're required no mask, no service. No different than no shirt and shoes in the fucking South.
Yeah, you hear that, Karen?
Yeah. It helps. Of course it helps.
I'm going to have Karen heat.
Scientifically, it helps. Because that's the way that it'll even help against the common cold. Because I've always told you guys, there's no such thing as an airborne cold. The fluids have to get on a surface and then they have to be passed to either your eyes, nose, or mouth. If somebody has a mask, there's less chance of their fluids going somewhere. And if you keep your hands clean, there's less chance of you putting them in your mouth or in your eyes. So there's almost zero chance. And again, you're talking to somebody who doesn't get sick on I have friends that I'm coming down with a cold. They'll come down with their summer cold, their winter cold. I've gone years and years and years without even a fucking cold. And I follow this by exactly living the way that people are just living now. I've spoken on this show about that before. I feel it. I'm the proof. I'm all the proof that I need. That if you stay away from germs, you don't get sick. And a mask fucking helps with that. Trust me, man. Wear a fucking mask. Don't be stupid about this. This isn't about freedom. Like I said before, there might be certain things exaggerated about the thing. Who knows? But either way, be careful. Does it hurt to have a little extra precaution?
Not in the least. No, but it violates my rights. No,
it's like if you have a fire extinguisher in your house and people like don't have a fire extinguisher. What do you think? There's going to be a fire? There's hardly ever any fires. Have a fucking fire extinguisher. Put on your seatbelt. Have your airbag.
Oh, but I'm never going to crash. I'm a good driver. You fucking mind.
Lock your door when you go home. It's not because we expect bad things. It's because we're trying to prevent them. It helps. It's like it's weird that we live in a world where we have to explain this shit to people. I wear a mask when I go out to help with others and to help with that. But just because I understand the way germs travel. And if we can minimize anything, then it definitely helps. And you know what? You're speaking to a New Yorker. You know what? You know what's flat around here? The curve, motherfuckers. The curve is flat. Because we wore masks. We wore masks. You know what? You know who didn't wear masks? Florida. They had a party out there. They did spring break. They were all dancing in the fucking water. It looked like the opening of a level of Max Payne 3 with the parties and shit that were going on in this world. Okay, and you know what? They all fucking paid for it. Just like in Max Payne 3.
I can't believe you Max Payne 3 Florida.
I feel like every fucking episode, every level in that game started with a big party. You notice that?
Yeah, every single one.
You know,
I need them to make that game backwards compatible just so we can prove that point.
No, it's funny. Isn't it weird that the places that wore masks and buckled down, we had it the worst out here. We're done. Guess what? They celebrated 4th of July. Everything's nice and shit is nice and normal here. Everybody else is going through things while shit is nice and normal. You keep believing that fucking non-mask mentality coming from the former epicenter. Former epicenter, because we are not the epicenter anymore, and a lot of that comes from masks and social distancing. I hate to say it, but I feel like as a minority and with a co-host that is considered a minority, I have the right to say this on the show. I've heard many places talk about how it's a conspiracy because in a lot of neighborhoods, the people that are most affected by this illness are the minorities. And this is just an observation, not a judgment. But when I'm traveling between boroughs, when I'm going from Brooklyn to Queens to Manhattan, when I am on the trains or on the streets, the only time I ever see somebody not wearing a mask, in my experience, happens to be a minority.
Yep.
Every time I see white people, they are bundled down. Like if it is December 24th and they're doing last minute Christmas shopping, they are fucking 6 feet away. They are wearing a mask, a helmet, a windshield. They have the overshield from Halo 3. They are not fucking around out there. They are not fucking around.
They got the kite spell from South Park referring to Sunday
They're
Stream.
so fucking bundled out there that if there was a shootout, they would just run behind somebody. That's the shield recharging, by the way, for anyone who doesn't play Halo. Like, so I'm not judging. I'm just saying that I notice when I go out, the people that I see not wearing masks happen to be minorities. Okay.
Yeah.
Like myself, like Destin, and I'm wearing a fucking mask. So I'm just doing the simple math here. It's all about the numbers. We're not in January yet, but it's all about the numbers. And I'm just saying, speaking to you from the flat side of the earth. People said that the earth isn't flat. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? New York is. We're as flat as we could be right now. And that's from following simple instructions that your philosophical views should not have anything to do with. This is, and I've been with you guys through this whole thing, and this is not me not questioning the validity of how serious this is. This is just me acknowledging that there is something, whether it's serious or not. I tweeted earlier today about a woman who fell off of the Grand Canyon. I thought that shit sucks. That doesn't mean everybody falls off of the Grand Canyon, but it means that people are. And it means that I am not going towards the fucking ledge. As a matter of fact, I think I'll just put up a Grand Canyon wallpaper if the urge ever fucking passes me, because I don't even want to be there, because I don't want to die. And even though less people die than live, people do die. So this isn't me talking about numbers when it comes to the virus. It could be a small amount, but I don't want to be in that small amount any more than I want to fall off of the Grand Canyon. And just because there is an amount, I'd rather wear a fucking mask. That's all that it is. We could be wrong. And it could be that there's a big amount. It doesn't matter what the amount is. What matters is that there's an amount. So it's just crazy when I hear people doing it. Why not fucking wear a mask?
Because it violates their rights as an American.
This is like that. This is like that. Don't worry, baby. I'll pull out mentality. You know. You know, like that's
my god.
That's really your percentage. That's really your chance. That's your dice roll here, bro. So you guys are my therapy through this. You know what, man? It's just the truth, though. Like, does it kill? Does it really kill? Like, I do it without hesitation. And then I always see people that I've always told you guys. Sometimes the media has more information than we do. I always see people outside, they wear the mask outside. They wear it the way Android 17 wears his mask, like around their neck and chest. You know, on their face. They're rocking the Android look. But then when they go inside, they'll use it. And I don't have anything against it, because I feel like as long as you're distancing, you don't need to keep it on the whole time. But I can't help but notice that all of the reporters keep that shit on outside.
They don't take no chances with y'all.
Hi, we're reporting from the middle of Times Square at 2 a.m. As you can see, there is no one around, but it sounds like this. Hi, we're reporting from the middle of Times Square. Those motherfuckers are not taking chances in the middle of nowhere with no one around, and they have more information than we do on a regular basis. Just wear a mask.
Like a sugar chain. Look at Cobra Commander. That's amazing.
That's great, man. I just have a generic black mask, a couple of generic black masks. I was thinking of getting some other kind of masks, but I don't know. WW didn't do good at advertising. If anything, they told me I don't need one, so fuck them now. I have to find another company's mask to wear.
I don't know how many masks I saw tonight, so I wouldn't pay that much attention, but...
Yeah, but like I said, I'm on neither side of the spectrum. I'm not fully... I do believe, and I've told you guys before, that there is something funny about the virus. I feel like the funny thing is that it's been politicized, much like mask wearing, where some people... It's become a left or a right thing, whether or not you believe in the virus. It's become a left or a right thing, whether or not you wear masks. The problem is we're in a culture that always politicizes everything, and that's scary, because when you politicize life-threatening things, you fuck up humanity. You know, I think an early sign of that years ago, it's become common culture now, but an early sign of that years ago is when people started politicizing vaccines. You know, it's like whether you're left or right, determine whether you believe in vaccines or not. Hello? Vaccines? You don't need that shit. That whole thing about like who was it that said that shit about I'm gonna shake hands with everybody? It was Loki. I'm gonna shake hands with everybody like my ancestors before me and let our germs and immune systems build up. It didn't work that way, actually, dude. We came up with penicillin, motherfucker, and then we came up with vaccines. Before penicillin and vaccines, everybody was dropping dead. Didn't Doc Holliday die of fucking tuberculosis or some shit?
I think so.
You know, even in the West, even the bad motherfuckers in the Wild West were dropping like flies. And that's
Remember
in an
Arthur
era,
Morgan? No.
Yeah, and that's in an era where you can shoot and get more likely killed. Yeah, look at Arthur Morgan. A game about Western. Spoiler alert here, but listen, a game about killing ends with fucking tuberculosis because they didn't have any vaccines. They didn't have any penicillin yet. So do not use the fucking logic.
They gave you some shit back then to make it a little less shitty.
Yeah, exactly. They gave you shit so there's less shit. Follow science. Doctors wear masks. You should too. Jesus. Just in case, man. Just in case. These are the same motherfuckers who will tell you every single year that the Mayan calendar got it wrong and that the Earth is now supposed to be ending in 2 weeks, and then they'll take all precautions.
All I'm saying, we were supposed to be dead yesterday.
But they won't wear a mask for something that could potentially end the Earth. You know, at least end humanity. Unbelievable, man. Come on, Austin Aries. Stop having people fucking kiss your balls and then not wear a mask.
Right. I still ain't forgiving you for Bound for Glory either.
Unbelievable. Yeah, like what a fucking jerk, right?
The dude's always been a douche no matter where he's gone. That's no problem. That's why nobody likes to work with him. Like,
that's one of the reasons why nobody likes to work with him. Aside from that, and the vintage ball kissing.
I wonder how many people he sacked having fucking Impact. Hi, my name is Austin Aries. Like,
that's fucked.
I'm just saying, maybe it's his answer to the fucking Randy Orton handshake.
Ethan Page, apparently a fan on social media said that, remember, this is the Impact Wrestling champion. They wanted Ethan Page to face Austin Aries in a match, and he said, "I'll never work with him. This tiny moron wrestled 2 20-minute main event pay-per-view matches with men twice his size and just nipped up afterwards. He has no respect for wrestling and happily open hand slap his little ass backstage, though. Reminds him he never actually beat anyone for real." Ouch.
And kind of referencing, I mentioned the Bound for Glory thing where Morrison hit him with the move and then he just fucking kipped up and walked away afterwards. There was like no selling.
I remember we played that shit on here. Yeah, luchadors have been prepared, right? Except their mask cover them everywhere except where it needs to. The only people who were prepared were Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Sin Cara and Suicide already.
Yeah. Kane, ironically, remember Kane?
Yeah.
This is when you know you live in Bizarro World.
Oh, this was great. I lost my shit.
So Kane opted against mask for his state, right?
That man said, "No, I have been under mask for years. I won't go back again."
Knox County Board of Health votes 7-1 to mandate a mask ordinance for anyone inside certain buildings. Mayor Jacobs is the only nay. Board will reevaluate the order at its next meeting. He's the only nay. So to be clear here, and this is something that it's important that a lot of you understand. When someone is anti-mask mandate, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're anti-mask. And just from what I know of Glenn Jacobs, I would say that he is anti-mask mandate. What he is saying is that in his state, you can't force people to wear masks in buildings. I don't know whether or not I agree with that. That's subjective. But what he's saying, that doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't wear a mask. That doesn't even mean that he doesn't think you should wear a mask. It means that he doesn't want to enforce people wearing a mask.
So pretty much like if you try to go into a grocery store or something, they can't throw you out because you don't have a mask on.
Right. So there's different kinds of stuff happening with the with that situation. You know. Different perspectives. Not every single situation is going to be exactly the way that you would hope. So as far as the WWE goes with masks, let's see what we have here. They basically are handing out fines now. You get a $500 fine the first time you're caught without a mask. You get a $1,000 fine the next time you're caught without a mask. They should fine them for each wrestler every single time that they didn't have a mask up to today.
They'd be out of money.
And basically, this is for everybody. And it caused confusion because, first they were told not to wear a mask, and they were told to wear a mask. Now they're told they'll get a fine. It's like the whole thing reversed on them. And apparently it's being reported by Fightful that there was a wrestler that came to Vince about proper measures not being taken and shit, and them being worried about health, and this is what made Vince turn around. Not all of the bad fucking media and publicity and everything else that they were getting. And then there was a leaked message. There was a leaked message to NXT superstars at the Performance Center that said, as a reminder, wearing masks, sanitizing, and social distancing will be required at the Performance Center this week and going forward. You will be required to wear a mask upon entering, and we ask that you adhere to these requirements in order to minimize risks. So now you can get your ass fined.
I love how you did that in the secretary voice, though.
Mm-hmm. So here is my problem with WWE right now. And I don't even feel comfortable reporting this because I don't like the idea that people can get ideas. But as you know, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, they all have restrictions on them. If you're coming from Florida or Texas or any of those hot zones that aren't flat like us who wear masks, then you have to quarantine for 2 weeks before we let you in. Part of this has to do with the fact that 260 out of 500 employees at the Orlando airport tested positive. Half of the fucking employees at the airport tested positive. Okay? So,
that's a lot of people.
In order for you to travel outside, if you're from Florida, Texas, and you want to go to certain places, you need to do the 2-week quarantine, which WWE doesn't like. So what they're doing is they're flying to and from Philadelphia. And then what they do is once you get to Philadelphia, from there, it's up to you as the wrestler to figure out how you're going to get to where you're supposed to be. This is being described as a mess. And, it's just crazy. Now, I don't give a fuck about how much of a mess it is for them. I give a fuck about the fact that they're doing this in the first place. I don't care that they're being inconvenienced by doing this. This is a loophole that you were doing. And it is exactly how you were going to fuck us over. You stupid, irresponsible, shit company. Think about what they're doing. We have restrictions up so that people don't bring that shit from Florida over here. So you fly them into a Philadelphia airport, and then from there you got to figure out how to get them into New York, New Jersey, or wherever. Which means whether they take a car or Uber, you know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Like they're slipping through the cracks because they're going to the closest state that doesn't have a 2-week quarantine, and then from there trying to figure out like a grounded way to travel. If you've ever played an RPG, it's the equivalent of needing to get somewhere by fast travel. You can only get to the fast travel, and then from there you got to walk to wherever you're actually going. That's what those motherfuckers are doing. And I don't like that because they're using Philadelphia as their fast travel point and then get to places like New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut, which is going to affect us. That's literally illegal. Literally. It's literally against the fucking law. Like the mayor of our state actually put that in, where you can get a $10,000 fine if they catch you out here without a fucking 2-week quarantine. It's stupid that they would even try some shit like that. For wrestling.
They don't care. They have never cared. They never will care.
And apparently we're even hearing...
You can't defend the dumb shit they do anymore.
We're hearing from Pro Wrestling Sheet that more people have tested positive within WWE for the virus. They said that 1,500 tests were distributed throughout June, and there are a lot more positive tests coming back now. And they're trying to strategically smuggle people through Philadelphia to here? Fuck off.
Incredible.
Yeah. Some live events were canceled because of it. Oh, the Phantom Undertaker? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When he broke his orbital bone? Yeah, that one.
They're still anxious to get back to live events.
Oh, fucking course, right?
You know, it doesn't even really make any sense to me.
No other company is this stupid. But then again, this is what happens when you have your head up your ass for 20 plus years. And then other people come around and just don't do dumb shit. Like,
And according to Meltzer, they're determining on a case-by-case basis whether or not people who are staying home due to this are having their contracts frozen or not. Like, for example, people like Sami Zayn, there's a possibility his contract might be frozen this entire time. But people like Roman Reigns that they don't want to piss off, they'll probably just unfreeze it and let that time go. You know, so there should be a universal way of handling this, not on a case-by-case basis.
Which also doesn't involve fucking with people's money.
And in the meantime, their taping schedule came out. According to Post Wrestling, this is their taping schedule at the Performance Center, which will be Friday, July 17th. They will tape SmackDown for that night and 205 Live. Sunday, July 19th, they'll do the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Monday, July 20th, they'll do Raw tapings for that night and the following week. And they'll do Main Event and the Raw Talk, which is coming back. Tuesday, the following day, they'll do SmackDown tapings for July 24th and 31st, plus 205 Live. Wednesday, July 29th, they'll do the NXT tapings for that night and the following week, August 5th. Monday, August 3rd, they'll do Raw tapings for that night and the August 3rd and the August 10th episode, plus Main Event and Raw Talk. Tuesday, August 4th, they'll do SmackDown tapings for August 7th, the following week's August 14th, plus 205 Live. Wednesday, August 12th, they'll do NXT tapings for that night and the following week of August 19th. Monday, August 17th, they'll do Raw tapings for that night and the SmackDown of the August 21st, plus Raw Talk, Main Event, and 205 Live. Saturday, August 22nd, they'll do an NXT takeover. Sunday, August 23rd, they will do a SummerSlam.
And we'll be here to tell you who got sick after that.
Yeah, of course, we'll be here. And then
that's the part of the tape they don't tell you about.
Monday, August 24th, 11:30 p.m. We'll be here to tell you who's dead and who's alive.
Exactly.
So stay tuned for that shit. Oh, man.
Amazing.
See, look at that. We got to talk a little bit about everything, really.
Yeah.
It's not looking good. We'll have to talk about that a little bit more. But with the speaking out stuff, it's not looking great for Matt Riddle. Not gonna lie. Don't know if you've been keeping up with this. But
yeah, I heard something like a picture came out or something.
Yeah, Candy Cartwright, who's Matt Riddle's accuser.
So basically the one that we talked about before, where he warned them of her ahead of time.
Yeah, she released a couple of pictures of him. Let me see if I can find him here.
Oh, God.
However, these pictures indicate that they had a relationship. It doesn't really indicate that she doesn't look assaulted in there.
No. You see that picture right there just tells me, okay, crazy ex-girlfriend.
He doesn't look assaulted. Obviously, he was cheating. She doesn't look assaulted, though. Doesn't look assaulted here either. Non-assaulted. She doesn't look assaulted.
No.
Where's the one she looks assaulted? Looks really happy. Right. Look, he's holding on to him. He's not holding on to her. She doesn't look assaulted.
Yeah. He looks more assaulted than she does. So.
Yeah, he's assaulted. Matt Riddle got assaulted. Look at this shit. Ridiculous. You should report her, Matt Riddle. Look at how tight she's clenching your fucking arm. I don't know that. I'm just saying that these don't look assaulting photos. It looks like there was definitely some infidelity. That's his business. That's between him and his wife. Let his wife
it literally just looks like, once again, okay, this bitch is crazy.
Look at
She's mad because...
Look at this assault right here.
Yeah, look at that. She assaulted, just assaulted his face.
I need some assault when I get off this show.
Oh. Assault and vinegar chips.
I need some assault. Write it down.
Assault. Assaulted all over the place.
Yeah, right. Incredible. All right. Well, we still have a few more minutes that we can talk about whatever here. You guys want to talk about the news? Or do you want to run down the last SmackDown and Raw?
I mean, it's been a minute, so I am definitely down for the last SmackDown.
The last SmackDown. All right. I'll talk about it briefly.
Which actually, well, to briefly get into the week before, the whole thing with the Undertaker, I do like that it was Jeff Hardy that did the kneel in the middle of the ring. Very fitting with everything those two have been through. So
yes, very cool.
Yeah, that had a lot of meaning for a long-term wrestling fan like me. Like, yeah, definitely rolling into this week's SmackDown. So.
Yes, I was just looking at my program. I didn't mean to leave you hanging in the air like that.
Oh no, you good? I got scared. I was like, "Oh Jesus, oh Jesus!"
Looking at my program, man. I promise.
I got scared. I was like, "Wait a minute."
Whenever you guys hear me get quiet, don't freak. I have a bunch of. Remember, I'm running everything. This is like literally me behind a whole bunch of controls. I
got scared. I thought Crazy Real Girl got him too. Like I got scared, y'all.
I like Matt Riddle being a very philosophical bro. Like he talked about why he didn't wear shoes. It was like, man, this is some deep shit. And he just talked about how he got frostbite on his feet and they were almost gonna cut off his feet. And it's a reminder to him that you can lose it all at once and everything. And I was just like, holy shit, man, what a philosophical bro this is. And then to top off that philosophy, in the mid match, he winds up hitting Corbin with a flip flop. Flop you, bro.
Write it down.
Pop. That is great. Flip flop that motherfucker.
You can't write this shit, people. You cannot.
It gave more meaning to that shit. When he hit him with it, it was like, yeah, he hit you with his flip flops, man.
You just got flopped.
Having AJ Styles bring it via satellite during the Drew Gulak match versus having Daniel Bryan bring it via satellite during the Drew Gulak match.
Wait a minute, I got scared. I really thought we were gonna have Buffer and Daniel Bryan. I was ready for it.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about that. Like, what was your opinion on that happening? Thank you for the host, Uncle Louis TV.
It was weird, like just for it to come out of nowhere like that. Like, I feel like if somebody's gonna bring it via satellite, you gotta have way more setup for me. Like, you can't just have that come out of nowhere.
And just him talking, it's just a little bit strange. It just reminds me that he's not there. Like, I wouldn't have thought about him not being there as much if they didn't keep cutting to him not being there.
Yeah, that's I think what bothered me the most was like I'd forgotten that he hadn't been here, and it's like, why do you just bring this back into my life? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole SmackDown had that awkward vibe to it. You can tell that they're like in denial about the situation that they're in, because you can tell how much improvising they did in order to even make that SmackDown possible. That to me was one of the most telling things about it.
Okay, WWE in denial.
Yeah. But post-match, we did have AJ Styles do a video here. Let me bring this up and see what we got.
AJ, congratulations on the victory tonight. Was there ever any doubt in your mind that you would come out on top tonight?
Never a doubt. You see, that last match I had with Gulak, it was a fluke. Everybody knows that. Everybody. If I do what I do best, and that's get in that ring and perform, I cannot be beat. You see, that's the thing. I think most of these guys are jealous because I'm going to have this championship for as long as I want. And I plan on having it, I don't know, until I retire, maybe? I don't know. Maybe. I could. You know why? Do you know why? Come on, everybody knows why. Everybody knows why. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not saying it. Just going to leave it at that. It's because I'm phenomenal. That's why. Idiot.
AJ, you won the match. You don't have to be so angry. Good Lord.
Yeah, like what's the heat for? So Bayley and Sasha, they just had a good old time. They are becoming the best thing about the whole fucking show, to be honest with you. Like they're little ass kickers there.
The freaking Sasha Taker face killed me.
Yeah, they talked about how Undertaker gave them props. We prefer to call him Taker. I thought that they're doing a really good job with their heel stuff. Look at this. This is the video package that they put out of themselves. It's very rare that you get to see somebody put out this dramatic of a video package, and it's ironic because it does work. She's been champion. Like, how long has she been champion now? I've lost track.
Over a year.
It's ridiculous. Anyway,
Money in the Bank was a year.
Unstoppable. Unbeatable. First ever. Women tag team champions. The golden role models.
Bayley and Banks have dominated everybody to step in their path. For the second time in their careers, they're tag team champs.
We do it for the glory. One shot, no stopping now. We do it for the glory.
Do you know what it means to be a once-in-a-generation talent? She sold out the Barclays Center, one of the first women to headline Hell in a Cell, one half of the first ever women's tag team champions. Ding dong, hello? I'm not lonely because I've got my best friend, Sasha Banks.
You witnessing the greatest, yeah, I'm in the flesh. And that's true. Got the crowd going crazy when we pass through. We do it for the glory. One shine, no stopping now.
You're the greatest tag team of all time. The Blueprint, Sasha Banks. She's the role model. She is Bayley Dose Straps. It's so heavy!
What makes Bayley such a great champion? She has carried the SmackDown Women's division on her back for over a year. Bayley was the first ever Women's Grand Slam champion. Most women in the locker room could never ever dream about that. The closest that they'll ever get to a Grand Slam is a greasy breakfast at Denny's. Is she better than Trish Stratus? Yes. John Cena, without a doubt. Lita? Absolutely. And I've never seen anybody as good as Bayley.
We do it for the
Damn, we are good.
These titles represent our friendship.
We are without a doubt.
Oh my God.
Ever. Our friendship is unstoppable.
Unbeatable, unconquerable.
Oh, Jesus.
Too good, man. Too good.
See, that's what happens when you stick with something.
Right.
Because, damn it, I thought it was a disaster and them bitches sold me. Good for you.
Bayley is very talented.
She is having the best calendar year of her entire career. That girl has been on fire.
She finally came into her own.
Yeah.
You know, so glad we still have that. And I love that sarcastic little promo that they did.
She was great.
Yeah, really good stuff. You know, and apparently Booker T on his show, he said Bayley is the quintessential worker. She can go out there and she may not be great at anything, but she's good at everything. And then Sasha Banks tweeted to him and he said, we're better than Harlem Heat. Now, can you dig that, sucker?
Oh, Lord, they said they're better than Harlem Heat. They said they were better than the Hardys. They just went down the list of tag teams like, we're better than all of you guys. I think at one point they said they were better than the Sex Gods, and I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, I saw that on social media, too. Ironically, they said they're better than the Sex Gods. I didn't bring it up because that story of them saying, of her tweeting that they're better than the Sex Gods was like hours before the Sammy Guevara stuff came out. Bad timing, Sasha.
Right.
Or maybe good timing, depending on how you take it. And then we had the Jeff Hardy thing at the end. Couple of things I have an issue with. So what was this shit called again?
It was like a toast to
Jeff Hardy, right? Number one, why would Jeff Hardy come to a toast for him? All right, man, I'm here for the toast. I know Sheamus is an asshole, but you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on? Why would you show up to this? He's a bad guy. He hates you. He's doing evil things. You showed up for his fucking toast. You think he's really going to toast you? Plus, you don't drink.
And fucking Sheamus toasted it via satellite.
That's another thing. Exactly. Sheamus brought it via satellite. It was a toast via satellite. How weird. And I guess that has to do with the COVID. I don't know if he's sick or avoiding, but there you go. Your overall thoughts on SmackDown? Anything else?
I mean, when it comes down to that, oh hell yeah! Like, yeah, I officially deemed it. That's the bit. Every time somebody bring it via satellite, it sucks ass. Oh hell yeah! Yeah, I mean, hey, once again, Bayley and Sasha, God bless them. So, Jesus Christ, like I'm tired of them beating this Jeff Hardy has a pass thing into the ground. We fucking know. It's only been on like every Jeff Hardy documentary I've seen in like the last 6 years.
Yep. So SmackDown brought in almost 2 million, 1.765 million viewers. They had a 0.5 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, whereas last week they had a 0.7 rating. So they have dropped. That brings us to last week's Raw, because we don't have this week's Raw yet. They brought in a 1.735 million viewers, almost 200,000 fans, very similar to SmackDown, which was pretty solid numbers right there.
Yep.
I don't have the rating as far as the demographic in front of me for that one. Anyway, Raw. I really don't have much to say about Raw. Dolph Ziggler bringing back fired Heath Slater to confront Drew McIntyre. Drew squashing Heath, then getting mad at Ziggler and attacking him for having to get his ass whipped by McIntyre made even less sense.
Which apparently, for some reason, this was Heath's legit send-off.
Yeah, that was a one-off. They just brought him back for. He's not hired with the company.
I mean, he looks great. He looks freaking
It's no
jacked,
different, though. That WWE does it all the time, though. They'll bring people who aren't with the company back to do cameos. It's no different. It's just that this is more recent. But yeah, it was just a one-off. Orton grabbing Garza's face during that match and basically telling him, get your act together. And it's funny because his voice just kept getting meaner and meaner. He was like, get your act together. He was like, I know you grew up in the business. You grew up in the business. He said, well, guess what? You know what? I have a special place in my heart because you grew up in the business. Now get your act together.
He came at him like a stern parent.
He really fucking
did, that is telling you to act right and get your damn grades up. Like, I was expecting the belt.
So after the match happened, what was happening with so Ric Flair and Randy Orton are talking backstage, and R-Truth runs right into Randy Orton mid-sentence. Bang! Ugh! And then Orton's like, hey! And I'm thinking, oh shit, he's gonna kick R-Truth's ass. And then R-Truth looks over at Ric Flair and he's like, for the dirtiest player in the game, you sure clean up good. And you ain't fooling me, Tozawa. Disguising yourself like the nature boy. And then the ninjas and Tozawa come and they're like, he's like, two Tozawas, and he runs away. Then when the ninjas and Tozawa run, Orton stops them. Hey, and he's like, we're looking for him. We're looking for R-Truth. And he goes, he went that way, and he points them in the other direction, and they all go running. He's like, thank you, and they all go running. And then him and Ric Flair look at each other, and they kind of shrug. That was just a weird moment, right? Like, for a babyface, he helped R-Truth there. He saved him from the ninjas.
I'm like, all right, cool beans.
Never thought that I'd see R-Truth and Ric Flair Ric Flair and Randy Orton saving R-Truth from ninjas.
Yeah, well, hey, welcome to 2020.
Yeah. The Iconics beat the weave out of Ruby Riott.
They really did.
That's when you're laying in that girl has beat the weave out of you, motherfucker. Back? No, she's had a bad losing streak.
She's lost 12 straight matches, I believe it is.
She's had such a bad losing streak that she's defaulted back to babyface without any storyline. That's what happens when you get your ass kicked long enough in wrestling. If you don't know this, kids, you get your ass kicked so much that you just default to babyface because the only people she beat were her friends.
You know what the funny thing is? That's how MVP turned babyface.
Yeah, you just get beat.
He was losing for 6 months straight. Yeah. And he finally beat the Big Show, and everybody was pouting. He was a face.
Yeah, look at that, man. You get the Piccolo and Vegeta babyface turns.
Oh, my God.
You can either get your ass whipped or be good. You're going to have decisions
either way, you will be a face.
One way or another, you're going to behave.
We can beat you there, or you can get there.
Like Mr. McMahon used to say, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Remember when he used to say that shit?
Oh my god, I remember
like when he was like the wrestling mobster. He was like the wrestling godfather.
She was like the mafia.
Anything else on Raw you give a shit about?
I mean, it's kind of funny how WWE talks about they don't copy AEW whatsoever, but they announced at Extreme Rules after winning a tag team match, it will be Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins, eye for an eye. Like we didn't just watch Santana and Moxley do this shit.
I never thought about that.
Them.
You're right. They did do the eye thing after AEW did. Oh shit!
I'm telling you, like they
think about that.
They are the worst liars. Because at least when AEW does it, it's kind of subtle. And luckily we're smart enough to figure it out. WWE is just like, you know what? No, eye for an eye. Which we don't even know how this match is supposed to work. They didn't explain it.
That's crazy.
This Raw happened. This Raw existed. What do you think about the new United States Championship? Because apparently that's what it's going to look like now.
I like it. Is there? And as a matter of fact, I feel bad that I don't have an image. Let's get that up on the screen before we get out of here. Let me see if I can.
You know why I like it? It kind of looks, and I don't know if you caught this. It looks kind of similar to the old WCW US title.
The big gold.
Yeah, it looks. When you kind of look at it and you really get a good look at it, I see little hints of the old WCW US title. Maybe that's just me, but. I mean, first off, the one thing I'm glad of is that they didn't just do what they usually do. And hey, we're gonna make it look like the other 15 world titles that look all like the world title.
It's gonna be a big red W.
Yeah, that's literally what I expected. And when I saw that, basically MVP and Lashley unveiled it, Cruz wasn't even there tonight, but they showed it, and I saw it under the curtain, and I'm looking like, oh man, it's gonna be Big W again, but it wasn't. It looked good, which I wanted to be in. Ricochet and Cedric came out and jobbed out. And then, like, what they turned into later on, MVP approached Cedric, and it looks like they're possibly teasing Cedric. They're possibly even splitting up that irrelevant team, and then Cedric joining up with them. So.
Right now.
Oh wait, I thought that this was gonna be a. Thought this was gonna be a video of it, but apparently not. There's someone talking over it.
Oh, that's one of those things. But yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like now. So.
I'd like to get a nice close shot of it.
Yeah. Which apparently, I guess this thing's already available for sale on WWE.com.
Of course it is. What do you mean?
For like $430 fucking dollars. I was like, no, boo boo. No, not at all. I don't think so.
I'm surprised that WWE doesn't have the video of that segment up.
That would involve them actually paying attention and stuff, though. So,
out of all the things they could put up, maybe they do, and I'm just not seeing it yet. But yeah, I'd like to get a look at it before we close shop here for the day.
Let me see if I can. Okay, I think I've possibly found somewhere that. Share the image.
I found it on their site. Give me a sec. They did have it up. My bad. Just gotta bring it up on here. But yeah, that title's gone through a lot of different incarnations. I haven't really ever seen one that I dislike of it.
I think this is only like when it comes to the belt entirety. I think it's only really the third version.
We had the black one. We had the white one.
Because we had that one in WCW, and then when they resurrected it.
If you go back though, like probably even before we existed, there were fucking tons of IC belts.
Yeah, I guess when it comes to like the Intercontinental and the United States Champion, the Intercontinental has definitely changed the most between those two mid card belts. But
roll, please. Wow.
Beautiful.
Magnificent.
It looks good.
This is a United States Championship that befits a legend like myself. And
I can't wait for John Cena to come back and win it and make it spin.
I can't wait to beat Apollo Crews at Extreme Rules, the horror show, so that we can just go ahead and make this official.
Yo, MVP, where's your head at, man? you're rolling with me. And if you're rolling with me, it's official when I say it's official. So, without further ado, why don't we just do it right now and crown your United States champion, MVP.
Isn't it bad? Like, why is MVP the title holder and you're the mouthpiece now? What happened?
Can you believe it? We're cutting in the chips. Quiet, Byron.
Like everything seems wrong in this fucking thing. This fucking company, man.
It's kind of funny because it wound up being a brief, I don't even know if it's necessarily you call it conversation in the chat room when the whole thing with Ricochet and Cedric Alexander showed up. Cool was mentioning the fact that they shouldn't break that team up because it's working. That team's not working. It's the first time we've seen them in 2 months. They got beat that first time in 2 months.
It was just a way to get rid of motherfuckers, man.
Yeah. Because like if they break that team up and Cedric joins up with MVP, that's Cedric being in some kind of a role, actually doing something. So, and realistically, that's what a lot of these guys need right now, is just a way to be a part of something. Because I think he's approached him, he's approached Shelton Benjamin, so it's weird where this whole thing is going to go.
Yeah, and of course we had Nikki Cross, who distracted Bayley during her match that she had against Asuka, right?
That was fun. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Bayley Soul getting the shit scared out of her. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. And then she had something to say after the match. We're gonna make a little bit more time for her because she's just too entertaining to like.
Right,
not
you can't
not Bayley segment now.
But we will not disrespect Bayley by not doing that. Come on.
Obviously, the match didn't go as you hoped, and I was just wondering, was your opponent at Horror Show at Extreme Rules, Nikki Cross, a distraction tonight?
Oh my God. The match didn't go as planned, huh? Oh, because you think because I lost the match that wasn't my plan all along? Maybe that was my plan. Now the Kabuki Warriors get a tag team title shot at us. Maybe I want that match so that when we beat them, we prove to the whole world that we are the best women's tag team. Actually, scratch that. We are just the plain best tag team in the world. Maybe I want that, huh? Nikki Cross. She's your friend, right? You think she's so cute? She's so funny because she has a cute little accent? Well, I think it's annoying. I think she's annoying. And if she thinks it's freaking cute to go bang on the plexiglass like all those freaking sheep out there, then be my guest. But do not interrupt my matches. And at the horror show, I'm going to be her freaking horror show, you know? I'm going to be the scary one. I'm going to be the little one. I'm going to make her regret even joining the WWE.
If I could only spell that right.
You could tell her that, huh, Sarah? How freaking dare you? Do you understand what I just did? Do you understand that I just went toe-to-toe with Asuka, the Empress of yesterday? Do you understand? You see how I'm getting closer? That means you walk away, okay? That means you walk away.
Thanks for your time.
I'm not walking away. This is my seat. This is where I'm sitting.
She's still going.
Oh, my God.
If I could only write that down, she'd be there.
Too good. Too good.
Oh, God.
All right. I think we're ready to wrap up here, right?
Yep.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone who has hung out with us for this entire night. Don't forget, we do streams throughout the week. We're going to need your support as we have now moved to Twitch officially. Not that we've ever left, but now it's become our home base. So we're going to need you guys as far as on off days. Don't forget, Tuesday we do random streams. Wednesdays we have our scheduled party game zone where you can participate from the chat room at 10 p.m. Eastern after AEW. And then, of course, we have Sundays, our adventure game night around 9 p.m. Eastern. All of our chat room participants live: Stasis Dreams, Willie V2, EB Gamer, Cooler Ice, George with a Z, Dinu, Thick Her, Commander Root, Falker Phase, Jaleesa Michelle Wood, A.K. Marceline the Vampire Queen, Sugar Shane, Sweet Holly, Amy Rose, Hard Knocks Life, Electrical Longboard, Feet, King Quest 770, Reigns the Great, Clyde Nice Guy, Weekly Planet 516, A.K. Ashley, Saiyaman Senpai, thanks for the host, 500, Trixie Powerful, once again Marceline, All Voltage AU, Uncle Louie, thank you for the host, Universe, and of course all of you listening live across iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn, SoundCloud, all various platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Talk Brunch Live, episode 393, hosted by yours truly, Ric Dara, a.k.a. Captain Brunch. From myself and my co-host, Mr. Destin Frazier, we are out of here.
And let's hope we're not sick next week. Bye, guys.
Shut it down.